Welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. We are so excited to have you guys back together with us to join us for another session. Woo! Um, Today, unfortunately, Megan Amaris, her character, she will not be here tonight. She wasn't able to make it. Some family stuff came up, and that's okay. But she will be back next week. Um, but yes, we are so excited to continue the story tonight, and get on with the adventure as they are setting out today. Um, yeah, basically. With that, I don't think there's any other announcements, so we'll just hop right into the recap done by none other than our resident Sierra Gatrell. That's actually not how you pronounce it, Gatrell. Yeah, it's Gatrell. Yeah.
Okay. So, last session all pretty much took place in one evening. We came back from our various shopping trips and studying in the library. From studying the library, Nuri and Merilla learned about a legend of how dolphins came to be, which was based off of a true story, like not a true story, based off of a real life legend. You made everything move. Whoops. You should go check that out. It's pretty cool. So we learned how dolphins were created in this world. We learned about, from a really cute little pamphlet, we learned about the 4 different elemental temples that Douse comes from. And then we all went back to the tavern where then Dusty ran into Tax's father and was able to give him the good news that Tax is in fact alive and safe and well. And so Dad is going to go back to town, and Dusty convinced him to travel with us. And so the father went to bed. Between all of that stuff happening, Douse had some pie, blueberry pie. And this is important because Merilla turned down a free offer of free food because it was blueberry pie. Who knows why? But this was the first time we've seen this happen, so it was a pretty big deal. Nuri and Dusty had a pretty intense conversation about Dusty's dad, his practically his mother, but not his mother, but is his mother, who is Thea, who is Nuri's sister. And they had a conversation about how Dusty can't be uncovered, and if anything happens to him, he needs to be taken back to his dad. Big juju stuff, and it's not good. But then at that time also, Nuri let slip about the Fae courts and how they're kind of involved in working in war stuff, and how it's kind of actually a big deal to talk about it. And she messed up by talking about it. So she got super drunk afterwards, and Dusty kept her from saying anything too important. Merilla tried to pry those secrets out, let it be known. Also, Nuri really upset Douse again by prying too much into his life and trying to figure out what was wrong with him, which he said was wrong with him. Let it be known. It's in the notes.
Nitpicking with words.
The night came to a close. Nothing too crazy. In the morning, Merilla read notes from Nuri's book, took some peeks, and Amaris drew in her book. But also at this time, memories came back to some people, and some people didn't get memories back, of our missing party member, Dane, the in-game Dane, who's unconscious, she's in a coma. She's not dead, okay? She's in a coma. But we learned that she was actually in a relationship with Douse. And so that kind of adds a whole new level of things. And Douse woke up with these memories and had a tear coming down his face because, wow, what a bad couple of days for him. Also, he fixed his buyer's remorse problem. But we haven't been able to address this because he just pretended like it didn't really happen so far. The morning has come. They're dragging a hungover Nuri with them on their journey. We've met up with Tax's dad, and we're finally leaving the town after shopping for a long time. You're welcome.
Woohoo! Alrighty. Thank you for that wonderful recap. And as such, we will dive straight back into the story. As you guys are beginning to head out. The midday has come at the point that you guys are going to be setting out. And yeah, let me actually put you guys on a road. Let me find a road to throw you guys on. Forest path. Our little forest path here that we love so very much. Here we go. We'll move them all over here. We'll get our little let's get a little person for Drav who is traveling with you. I have to find. Do I even have a half orc? We're just gonna use this little half orc dude. Woohoo! Okay. Wait, did he go? Is he not on the board? He didn't appear. There we go. Alrighty. That is Drav with you all.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Gotta zoom in on his picture to see what he looks like. I know it's not how he actually looks, but
Yeah. These pictures aren't very accurate. Unless they're the players. I just have a library of images. Okay. So, you guys begin to finally set out on the road. Drav is wearing his straw hat. As he sets out with you all. So you guys continue and you set out on the road. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're on the road, or just be trucking along?
Merilla will just keep telling stories.
Okay. Dane, you're muted. If you're talking.
Sorry, I said Douse is probably just going to let those drawn in the background and be like, not really paying attention to those stories.
Ooh, okay.
I imagine
Nuri
he's
doesn't
already
care.
heard most of them.
Probably. Okay. Alrighty. So you guys continue traveling on the path. Let's see. Greg, can you roll a d20 for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no,
Is it
the
a
first
bunny?
roll of the session.
The most dangerous of all. If it's a bunny, that's scary. That's an unfortunate series of events.
The killer rabbit
7.
returns. A 7. Okay. Perfect. And with that, can you roll a d6 for me?
Oh, absolutely. Let's just roll that. 4.
4? Okay. Awesome. All right. So you continue traveling along the road. You've been traveling for maybe about 3 hours now. So you guys kind of like stop on the side to take a quick reprieve. Maybe nibble on some bread, some food. Drink some water. I love it. Oh my gosh. Sarah, you just
Actual
pull out
bread.
bread.
I came prepared.
That is amazing. You're a
Not me,
queen.
not- I
Okay.
just wish there was like an actually like big round one, like what Merilla has. That'd be so epic.
You'd have to go to like a really fancy bakery, I feel like, to get one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one downstairs. I could go grab.
You do.
Yeah, just hand it to.
Are you talking about like a
Merilla.
normal loaf or
Hand
like
it
the
to
kind of loaf
her.
we're talking about?
Around
Through all the
loaf.
miles apart you are.
It's
Okay,
one of
you're
those
talking one
rounded
like this
ones.
big, right? We're talking ones that are like this big.
What's what?
The size is the difference.
Fair enough.
Okay. Alrighty.
It would
So
still be funny.
as you guys are going, you notice this traveler on the road. Kind of more heavy set man as he's coming down. He's kind of like using his cane as he's going. He's got a backpack on that seems to be heavily weighed down. Um, he's human. He's kind of balding on the top, but his hair is a little bit longer down on the back. All dark brown, thick beard in the front. And he seems to be wearing just like regular travel garb. Um, as he continues down the path, and he notices you guys and says, "Hail and well met, travelers."
So
Well-
we're all sitting to the side, right?
Yes, like enjoying some food, reprieve,
That's right.
basically.
Okay.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if we'd
I'm-
started up again.
I'm just silent and kind of like laying to the side,
I'd
hungover.
I'd wave at him and be like, safe travels.
Hello, well met yourself, sir.
Thank you. He starts to come forward, closer to you guys.
Where are you heading off to?
Oh, I'm just on my way to Snake Wharf.
To Snake Wharf. What
Yes.
business have you there?
Oh well, my wife lives there. Just on my way back.
Did Dusty just take a step back?
Yes. Douse did.
Douse did.
That is exactly what Douse would do, because he's like, why is this guy stranger coming up to us?
Your wife lives there.
Yes, bit of a tense relationship. She's got my son there, and well, heading for a visit.
I see.
Yes. I was off
Devoted father to
visit-
travel all that way to see a son.
Yes, I do love the lad. I was off visiting a friend there in Dragondale and heading right back Snake Wharf to go see him all. But yes, where are you guys off to?
Oh, to Dragondale, right where you're coming from.
Oh, you're on your way to Dragondale.
Yes.
Oh, well, I know we just kind of met, but do you mind doing a favor for me?
Possibly. What's the favor?
I left and I accidentally took my buddy's jacket with me. In my pack. It just kind of sort of got mixed up with the stuff. Do you mind just returning it back to him when you guys arrive there?
I don't see why not, sure.
All right. He comes forward and he pulls his bag off and he puts it down. He kind of digs through and he's like, "What? Um, uh,
Who is
And he-
this buddy that we're supposed to return it to?
his name is Bob.
His name is Bob.
Yeah, Bahb. Bob.
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 Bahb. All right.
Yeah, yeah. He's a little guy, and he pulls out this really small like coat, like gnome size. Um,
Can I do a quick insight check on this guy? Kind of see if he's doing anything funny with the coat or while he's digging through his bag?
It's a bomb.
roll
I know,
insight.
right?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, wow, I can see how that might get mixed up with all your stuff. It is tiny.
Oof.
I think it just ended up falling. Bundles of clothes, and then it just like falls on top, and you just kind of grab the bundle.
That is an 11.
An 11. He doesn't seem to be doing anything other than like rifling through a very messy bag, and just like kind of looking for it when he was like trying to pull it out. Um, so it doesn't seem like he's doing anything like sly.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So
Is,
he
is Bob a regular human or
no, Bob's a gnome.
He
not?
just pulled
Not
out a
Bob.
gnome
Sorry, I'm
jacket.
talking about the guy that's right in front of us.
Oh, my name's Jason.
Describe.
Not his name. I'm asking the DM because I'm looking at the guy. What is he?
Oh,
Clearly bigger than this jacket.
oh yeah. He is a tall human, about 6 foot, kind of heavy set.
Okay. Friend, how did you get this jacket mixed up with your stuff? I mean, it is clearly too small for you.
I think that's the thing. It's tiny.
It's really small. It ended up just falling in my pile of clothes,
Fair enough.
and I just kind of picked it up, plopped it in the bag. It's his favorite coat, so I figured send it back rather than having to wait, like another month.
All right. Well, just curious is all.
Yeah, of course, of course.
When did you
He
notice that you had it? If I might ask.
I noticed it about like 30 minutes ago. I stopped for a minute, grab some food. My
Very important.
granola bars.
Oh my gosh, you have granola bars. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I got them from bakery in Steel Glen. Belfry's Bakery.
She kind of like looks at her bread and just continues to eat it. Like she's still pleased. Might have to pay more attention next time we go. I was so entranced with all the varieties of bread he had. I definitely didn't notice anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's
You
quite a
like Belfry's
selection.
bread?
I do like Belfry's Bakery. His bread
Good.
there is very good. Hmm Well, if without anything else, he goes and he offers the coat to whoever will take it. Merilla. Okay, he offers the coat to you, hands it off. Kind of stuffs his clothes back in his bag and ties it all up tight. Shoulders his pack again. Well, I best be off. Don't want to keep my son waiting.
Safe travels to you. Was it Jason?
Yes, Jason.
Glances over to Nuri just to make sure she's writing it down.
You will have noticed that even in her hungover state, she has actually had her book cracked open and has been
I love it.
scribbling.
Question is, what is she actually scribbling this time?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Alrighty.
We'll
And-
make sure to get back to Bob. Where does he live roundabouts?
Well, who do you know in Dragondale?
We know the
And
captain of the guard folk. We know Mary
Greg,
and
you're muted.
Brandon at the tavern.
and Drav kind of like pipes up and he goes, "I'm from Dragondale. I'm I'm a tough hammer. I actually know Bob."
Oh, good. Well, never mind. Problem solved.
He was Bob Littlefoot, right? And Jason goes, "Oh yeah, you know Bob." And Drav goes, "Yeah, classic
Littlefoot?
Bob."
Oh my gosh.
Because I totally forgot Drav was there and he would know Bob.
Frick her.
The whole time
He's
he's just
busy.
like,
He's just watching like, okay. Well, I mean, Drav is a man of few words. So, and with that, Jason says, "All right, well met. I will not see you later, I guess. So bye."
Goodbye, Jason. Have fun at Belfry's.
Oh, I'm heading to Snake Wolf, but thank you.
Oh, I thought he had passed through. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Nah, he's headed off that way. All right, and with that, he leaves. You
Once
guys,
he leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
no, continue.
Once he leaves, I'm gonna just kind of like scooch over to Merilla and just like slowly take the jacket from her. And I'm gonna like
Nuri,
study it.
what do you want with it? It's from it for gnome? Dwarf knows the gnome.
And I'm just gonna like like too loud.
I'm
And-
sorry.
I'm gonna just like take out my pen. I'm gonna start writing in the air, and there's just gonna be like little magical traces around this coat as I'm casting a ritual to identify it. Make
Hey,
sure it's nothing weird.
Do you think there's something awkwardly special about the coat? I think he just forgot it. He had it by accident.
you
I just keep casting it.
I mean, unless
Not
someone's
really
trying to
talking.
lead us to a murder scene again, but I don't know.
Okay, 10 minutes later, after your ritual cast is complete, you now know everything there is to know about this coat. It is a gnomish coat owned by none other than Bob Littlefoot, BAHB, Bob. Um, and it
Bob.
was. I love that. Yes, it is made out of sheep wool. And it is. And it is actually was created in Dragondale itself, hand stitched and woven there. It is very simple, ornate. Well, not ornate, sorry. It is just a very simple coat that is nice and warm.
I'll pass it back to Merilla and just be like, he's telling the truth. And then I'm gonna just
Why were
like,
you doubting him? And she takes it back.
gonna kind of curl up on the side. I'm actually gonna lean against Dusty and just like hold my journal to my chest and kind of take a nap until we go.
Can see Amaris just like sitting down beside you and like kind of poke you every once in a while.
I don't react.
Leave her be. Leave her. I'm actually on her side this time. I mean, who walks up to strangers and asks them to bring a jacket back to the, I mean, I understand it's a jacket to their friend, but he doesn't know us and he's trusting us to. Who's to say we won't go sell this type of thing? I mean, come on.
You obviously haven't traveled very much, Douse. On
I
the road,
s-
there's just other people, and you just kind of have to
Yes.
trust strangers
And
every
maybe
once in a
you
while
talk
to
to
get your
them,
needs
but-
met.
It's a jacket. It could wait a month for him to go back, but it's also. I think if he was too quick to be friendly, is all I'm saying.
At this, Nuri will actually pipe up a bit and be like, and another point, it's a jacket in the desert.
I was wondering about that too. Dusty,
I'll lay
doesn't it
back
get
down.
cold at night sometimes?
Yeah, it can get pretty cold in the desert, especially at night. But having a jacket around is usually a good idea, just in case.
I mean, I imagine it also keep you safe from the sun. Not that long sleeve normal linens can't do that too, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I don't really have much experience with the desert at all.
Well, we'll be getting some.
This is true. I am excited and nervous. I'll be depending on you, Dusty, to keep us alive.
I'll try my best. I haven't had this big of a group in the desert with me before, so we'll see how it goes. We'll be fine.
Well, we're good on water. We're good for that. And I have some food.
Yeah, we should
Good.
be all right.
That's awfully important.
Okay. And with that, you guys set out again and spend the time. You do have to camp for the night. But eventually you guys make it to Dragondale.
Yay!
Back to the city. Back to the city. The city is ours.
Huzzah.
Douse on the way distinctly recommends us avoiding the wraiths where they spawned last time.
Avoiding that campsite.
Let's not stop here.
Understandable. And Douse, along the way, you are remembering spots that you would stand with Dane. The bushes where you found her missing ring.
Found. No, I'm kidding. It was missing. It was actually part of Nuri's journal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So sad.
the memories
You
are
you were
coming
planning on giving it back to her at some point.
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
because looking back at it, he's like, I remember picking it up. Why didn't I give it back to her? Why did I hold on to it? Kind of a situation.
Mm-hmm. Why did you? Why, oh why, Douse?
He was just holding on to the ring
What?
for a special occasion. I mean,
A
you never
very
know when you
special
need a ring.
occasion.
Might have been planning to replace it with a different one.
Oh, you guys aren't
No,
even
no.
official yet.
Things are already getting heated, and the other partnership in this partnership is not here.
Scarlet E. Lol, this
No.
whole party is sus.
With how little he trusts people at the get-go,
Basically.
he would take a while
Absolutely.
before being ready to pop the question.
I now have the energy for tonight. Here we go. Okay. Let's go. You're going to the city. You are now in the city, and the city is bustling and rebuilt, and everybody's like happy and stuff.
Oh shoot!
They got rebuilt in like 2 days. That's
Impressive.
Well,
impressive.
I mean, not like 100% rebuilt,
Oh,
but
okay,
like,
okay.
yeah. They're doing better.
Does Straw react to the state of the town? This is the first time he's been back since
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
He, as he's kind of coming in, he definitely like looks a little like, um, like, uh, as he like enters into the town, you can see that he's just walking forward down the familiar paths as he's just looking around, seeing the people helping each other. There's a little smile on his face, but then he continues going, and his walk turns into a run as he starts to run down the path, the familiar streets. Are you guys gonna go with him or no?
Dusty's
mean-
gonna follow him. I mean, if he's
I would
going where
follow,
I
but
think
I
he's
wouldn't
going.
run.
Okay. All right, so some of you are walking, some of you are running with him. He is running where you think he's running,
Sure.
and he runs all the way back home. And as he
Actually-
comes up,
I was gonna say Douse was actually thinking back at it, like he'll go join them later. He's gonna go secure us lodging for the night.
okay, perfect. So you'll go to the inn. Okay.
I send Houdini to just follow behind sneakily of Douse.
Douse. Okay. All right, Houdini is following him.
Sneakily.
Make a stealth check then for Houdini.
Oh,
and
okay.
Douse, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception.
Yeah, his stealth just has to succeed your passive.
Yeah, I have 3 different tabs up. So one for the stream, one for the game, one for my character sheet. I have to keep finding it.
Oh gosh.
Wait, so where is Nuri?
12 is my passive perception.
Nuri's coming along with Dusty, but she has sent Houdini to follow Douse.
I mean, he's not doing anything suspicious. He likes to prioritize things that he sees as important, which would be making sure they have lodging for the night, and then pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. That's 12.
So, you do notice, at first you don't really notice this, Douse, but kind of like partway through you notice that Houdini has been following you. Um,
I'd probably go to like the well at one point or another and try to like splash like go shoot why are you falling stop. When that fails, then he just continue on his way like whatever. First the sheep, now owls. What the crap? What is it with this city?
Animals love you, Douse. Animals just love you.
Okay.
Wow. He's not the druid here. That's the funny part.
He's not. It's
Oh,
always this city. It hasn't been any other city where that's happened.
Just this one. Dang.
basically. Okay. Um,
Dusty will run along with Drov.
okay.
He's a little confused at first, and he's like, "Oh, he hasn't seen his family in a while, huh?"
Hmm.
I kind of want to see this, and then
Hey.
he like goes with them.
Alrighty.
I would have told you guys what I was doing, just so if anyone was wondering.
Alrighty. Okay. Reunion time. Okay. So Drav, he's running, You get it? Yeah. All right. So he runs, and as the house comes into view, you actually see Tax outside of the house. She seems to be like stacking rocks on top of each other, making a bunch of little mini like cairns. Um,
As Dusty sees Tax, he's actually gonna like slow down a little bit, so that Drov will be the first person to like interact with his family.
okay. Awesome. All right, so you slow down and you see Drav is still like running forward. You see Tax kind of like she hears the noise and she instantly like perks up. Because now she's very sensitive to noise. And she like her head whips over and you just see her eyes grow big and this big goofy grin just slides onto her face. Um, she jumps up, knocking over her little Karen in the process, and she just shouts, "Daddy!" And she goes running to her dad, and Drop just picks up his little girl and swings her around, just holding her close to him. Um, as they just like spin around and she's laughing, Tax is laughing. And at that you actually see Girth comes out. The she opens the door real quick, because they don't really have like glass panes in their windows, it's just a hole. She definitely heard it. She goes running out, she runs on over and um goes over and wraps her arms around her husband while he's still holding Tax, and his hat gets knocked off to the ground and he just starts kissing the side of his wife's face, um as they're all wrapped up in this one big happy family moment.
Dusty's just kind of like he's been like walking up towards them as this has all been happening.
As you get a little closer, Girth sees you and she grabs you by the wrist and pulls you into the family hug.
He joins on in. He's
Alrighty.
happy to give him a hug. It's been too long since he's seen him.
Oh,
Who date?
Scootinish. Okay, they are all enveloped in hugs, um, and just lots of happy little noises. Just like yay, the pure, wholesome moment of families being reunited, and it just warms your hearts. Um, as the moment kind of dies out a little bit, the feelings don't, but you can only hug and kiss someone for so long. Um, they let go and uh, Drav looks at his daughter again, and he kind of like pushes back some of the hair that's fallen in her face, and he's like, "Oh, I've missed you." And he looks over at his arm still around his wife, and he's like, "And you as well." Um, and they're just happy he's home.
That's just too wholesome. Something bad needs to happen. Something bad.
Not to them.
Well, I mean, you never know.
Greg, hold up.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Mega problem.
I mean, Dusty wouldn't do anything, but oh boy.
Dusty goes from family friend to mass murderer.
No, Dusty is happy to see them all together.
All they need is a pet bunny to defend themselves.
Yeah, that would stop him. Doesn't take much.
It's true.
Alrighty. Well, at that moment, so it's more of like a reunion, as they kind of talk amongst themselves a little bit. And eventually, it is starting to get like evening by this point. Douse, I'll say that you secure rooms at the inn for all of you guys. And you're able to rejoin back up here at the Tough Hammer residence. They will have invited you all inside, so it would have been a very full house at this point. So you are now inside the house, all of you guys, enjoying some nice bread, not freshly made, but still,
It's all right. It's bread.
yeah, with the real bread. It's amazing.
Pulls out second piece.
All the bread.
Actually, only have two. But okay.
Oh no. 2 loaves.
Piece
Now
of bread.
that's the real question.
Miss Tough Hunter, I got some recipes I would like to try. If it's all
Of course, Douse. Whatever you need, I'm here.
right. See, do you have the so you make butter as well, or not butter? Sorry, you make bread quite a bit. I
Yes.
was wanting to try my hand at making some cinnamon bread.
Ooh, that would be really fun to try.
Yeah, I mean, we have some from the restaurant, and I have the recipe here.
Hmm.
So it's not like we need to make it, but I want to try making it myself anyways, just to get familiar with the process.
Of course, my kitchen is yours.
Wonderful. Do you mind helping out?
I would love to.
All right. Sorry, I
Quick
didn't mean to cut
question
you off.
for Douse. Did you go off anywhere besides actually to the inn and then back?
No, I mean, he went to the well to splash your owl, but that was it.
So you stopped at the well, then got lodging, and came straight back to the Tough Hounds.
Yes.
Okay.
In his mind, it was a matter of, well, you guys want to know this is player knowledge, but it was a matter of, well, let's go get a lodging and whatnot, and also allow, some family time because they haven't been together in however long.
Hmm. Yeah, and when you went to the inn, Mary and Brandon greeted you warmly, and they said you guys didn't have to pay for your stay.
Oh, how kind of them. I would still slip 1 gold under the paperwork or whatever I had to sign to get the rooms.
Make a sleight of hand check.
That is a 15.
Okay, you can safely have managed to slide a gold, and they did not notice.
There we go.
Okay, awesome. Alrighty. So back again to the Tough Hammer family. You begin to start making some cinnamon bread with Girth. Tact is like not parted from her father. She's just like hugging onto him, and he's holding on to her because he's just so happy that she's back. Um, as you guys regale, I mean, I'm sure you guys told a lot of your tales along the journey to Drov. Um, but he is enjoying listening to a tale from Tax right now as she's going, and it was really, really scary down there. But then Dusty came and the pink hair and Douse and the old lady and she's telling her story and she's like, and they all came and she continues babbling on about the false Hydra and how you guys saved her like heroes. And then afterwards, she continues going on about the aftermath, talking about it. And she says about how the whole city came together and they were working together and we were building. And I got to talk to a bunch of the old people and we made flower crowns. Um, and then, and then she continues going on and on. I got to play with water with Douse. Um, and then
Does her dad get a little surprised with that?
he's kind
The
of
fact that they live in a desert?
he kind of quirks his like head a little bit to the side, kind of like, but then he kind of looks at you and he's like, water genasi, he's kind of like, okay, like whatever, we'll let it slide this once,
I replenished what we used. It's fine.
He just nods as Taxes didn't stop and continued going with her story. Um, and eventually she gets to the point where she's like, and then she's like pointing at Merilla and she's going, and she told me that I would see a unicorn one day. Um, yeah, she's pointing at Merilla. Um, and she's like, and then I drew a picture of a unicorn. And yeah, here we are.
Merilla just nods.
Mm-hmm. As she finishes up her 30-minute to 45-minute long story.
He doesn't hold back any details.
Mm-mm. She really doesn't. You know
Like a
this from
true
experience.
child, she has no filter.
Exactly. hmm Um, trying to remember. High or low?
Who?
Oh yeah, I did not say who. Let's say Douse.
Let's go high.
Okay.
Hello.
She also mentions, she goes, oh, and after you guys left, while you were gone, a stranger came into town, and he installed this new thing in the tavern. It's really cool. And Girth kind of looks up as she says that, and she goes, "Oh yes, there's some sort of new invention they added. Um, they call it, oh, what was it?" And she kind of like snaps her fingers a little bit, and she's kind of thinking. She goes, "Oh, it was a shower. That's what they called it, a shower.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Douse
water
immediately
comes.
perks up.
Yes, instead of a bath, it's a new way of washing. Sorry, this isn't even her voice. It's a new way of washing. It's with it's this pull cord, and you pull it, and water comes crashing down from the top, and it covers you in water, and it washes a lot of the dirt and the grime away. It was quite interesting, and he built it, and afterwards he left. So it's a little interesting, but grateful he came through. That was quite a cool invention.
It is.
hmm
What do you remember what he looked like, Tex?
He was blue skinned. He had blue skin. And white hair, I think. And he wore a blue robe, like cloak.
Ooh.
Not like you. And she points at Douse. She goes, not like you, Douse. He was like lighter blue skin, like really light.
I mean, my family and friends, we all have different varieties of blue in our skin, but it's interesting.
But he wasn't like water.
Oh,
Tax, did
He
he have
was like snow.
hmm.
did he have pointy ears like mine?
Yeah, he had pointy ears.
Oh, that's so fun. You're such a smart girl. I had to go into a corner and write some notes.
All the players minorly freaking out.
No, it's fine. The showers don't have anything bad in them, probably. Probably.
You
As we're like
know, I've
taking
encountered a
showers,
shower or two
oceans.
in my travels. They're very, very interesting things.
Mm-hmm. You do know that they are very rare, and in your travels, you've only encountered them in the Avalon Kingdom.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Lower down.
Mhm. Lower down, near the southern countries.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Um, yeah.
I have to put my dog.
And Tax is like, it's super cool to go in there and watch it. But I mean, they don't really like now they don't let people watch. But
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it, Tax?
it's just cool seeing the cord be pulled and water come down. They did it on a bunch of animals.
It's true. You've never seen a waterfall, have you, Tax?
A waterfall?
A waterfall, yes.
That's just like rain, right?
No. So it's a
I
river
had,
that goes over a cliff, and so water falls great distances until it lands on the ground below, and then the river just continues.
Whoa.
if you want,
Yes.
Tax,
It's kind
we
of
could
like a shower, except for it's all one thing instead of little spriggets of water.
actually. I have a great idea, Merilla and
Yes,
Tax. Would you
Douse?
both like to come outside and we can make our own miniature waterfall in the backyard?
Can we?
Drove, would you like to join? If it's all right with you.
Drov nods his head and he puts his straw cap back on and are Girth at this point is just kind of taken over the cinnamon bread.
Oh, I had completely forgotten that I was doing that.
She doesn't mind. She doesn't mind.
Well, did I at least get it almost finished? Or
Yeah, it's
okay,
it's being put in the oven.
okay. Yeah, we could do that while we wait for the bread.
Okay. You guys head outside. There's a beautiful like sunset happening. You figure you have about 20 minutes left of light in the day. Maybe 30 minutes max, but it's this beautiful sunset, painted sky, lots of pinks and orange and yellows, little hints of purple on the horizon, but you guys go to the back behind the house. It's not really much of a backyard, more just like rocky backyard, desert. It's a
Okay.
Sonoran desert, so
It was like
All
in
right.
the town too, so it's probably just like a random space.
yeah.
I'll just be like, all right, let's make ourselves like a nice little stream for the river. And then, Marilla, do you want to help Tax in making the waterfall part? The little drop area? I haven't seen one myself either, but I think we can still make one. And then once we're all
Well, that's
done,
right,
I
I
can.
suppose you haven't, Douse.
No, I haven't. But then after all that, I can use some of my water, and we can kind of just run it along in like a little circle. It could be like a flowing stream or something.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, Douse, but it's okay. We'll try something. So, come here, Tax. Let's find some good rocks.
Okay.
He kind of like hunts for some rocks of like yay big size.
Yeah, you guys find some decent rocks.
Kind of like roll them into place.
Okay, you guys take the next 5 minutes grabbing some rocks and rolling them into place. You see Drov kind of helps out for a few of the heavier ones.
Oh, good. All right, now,
Okay.
Tax, now we're going to make sure we have a path for the river on top. First, we need to get some dirt, and she takes some dirt from like nearby the rocks and she kind of like spreads it out on top. Does it again, and then she takes her finger and she's going to trace it through to the edge of the rock.
Okay.
And then watch this, Tax. My finger is going to go woo down and it hits the dirt at the bottom of the rock. And she keeps dragging her finger. And that's
Okay.
exactly what the water is going to do. Now, when we do this, you're going to have to pretend it's like really big.
Okay.
Like 3 houses tall. Or more, at
Whoa.
least.
Whoa. Okay. She kind of closes her eyes and she squeezes them shut a little bit. She goes, and she, like, without opening her eyes, she just nods and she goes,
All right, now don't forget to watch, Tax.
and she opens her eyes. She's got this
Okay.
determined little face on, and her hands are balled into fists as she's like staring at the where the waterfall should be.
Well, now it's your turn, Douse. You want to
Yes.
put some water right here? And she like points her finger to where the like trench on top of the rock is that she made.
Okay. And so I'd kind of start use my finger. I just point down to it and use the what is it? Shape water spell to kind of start pulling it out of my canteen to go down my hand into where my finger is, start filling up the trench, and then just kind of send it down, let gravity do its thing to go down, follow the path.
With your decanter?
Just with my, because I still have my canteen,
Oh,
and I
your
was using
canteen.
the decanter for like refills is what I was using that for.
Yeah, sounds
So I have
good.
my canteen.
Okay, so you pour the canteen out, and water trickles out and pours down off of the water, off of the rocks, and into the little groove at the bottom, and creates this little mini waterfall. Um, and you see, Tax just like this. Her eyes are wide, and she goes, and she looks at you, Merilla, and she says, 3 times as big?
At least 3 times this big. And now she's gonna like go near it and she's gonna get this little like pebble along the way. Or like stoop down and pick up the pebble. She's gonna put it like near the bottom, nearby the trench, but not caving in the little groove that she made. Now pretend this is you. Sets it down there. This is about the size difference.
Her jaw just drops. Drov is just kind of like wiping the sweat from his forehead a little bit because it's a little warm. And he's like, oh, that's was a mighty fine representation.
Thank you, Drove.
And
I would-
Tax is smiling. Yes, Douse?
I was like, once we're all done, I'd use my shape water spell to get as much water as I could back into my canteen, like saving water.
Lesson learned.
Drov approves, and so does Tax.
You know, Tax. Usually at the bottom of a waterfall, I can't believe I forgot this. And like with the like at the bottom at the start of the groove where it comes down, she digs out a little bit more dirt with her finger. There's usually a pool because it's the water takes some time to go down the rest of the river. And some unicorns really like these spots. Not all of them, but some of them do. Usually it's the quieter ones, though, not the really big ones.
I want to meet a unicorn.
Waterfalls. What'd she say? Sorry.
I want to meet a unicorn.
Me too. Someday, Tax, someday.
And she just smiles and she looks at her dad and she goes, "Can I meet a unicorn one day?" And he just kind of
Marilla's gonna like look at him like, don't you dare.
he looks a little baffled, but he says, "Course, one day when you're older." And she just goes, "Yes, yes!" And she kind of pumps her fist in the air. She's like, "Yes!" And the scent of cinnamon fills all of your noses.
Oh, smells like the bread is done, Tax. She'll go back inside, and she kind of like says that more to Droves than Tax. Drov.
Yeah, Drov. And Drov nods. He grabs Tax's hand. Well, more like Tax grabs his hand. And they walk inside.
During all this time, Dusty's been like, he's mostly been over in the drawing area, but he's just been looking at things. So when you walk in, you see him like looking at the drawings that have been made.
Okay. Yeah, you see all of the drawings that you guys have done together. The only new drawing that you see, hold on, high or low?
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, there's only one new drawing that you see. And it's actually of this like light blue stick figure with pointy ears and white hair, which is basically just like black charcoal pencil doing the outline of what would be white hair. Um and with like a little blue cloak and then just like water like splashes of dark blue above um kind of like making it seem like the guy and then just like water raining down guy who made the shower, you know. That's the only new drawing that you see added to the collection.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. And the entire time that you guys that Nuri and Dusty would have just heard that while Girth was baking and stuff, she was just kind of and cleaning up after the baking, you know. She's just kind of like humming a tune to herself um as she was doing so. So when you guys all enter back in, she just smiles and pulls the bread out of the oven and you guys can enjoy some amazing cinnamon bread. This is absolutely wonderful.
Me wishing I had
fantastic.
actual cinnamon bread.
I know,
Has
right?
to settle for normal bread.
Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to do here before we have you guys turn in to the inn for the night?
Before going to bed for the night, Nuri is going to take Amaris with her to go visit Dane. And she'll kind of make it be like, "Oh, we're gonna go visit Dane. If
Marilla's
anyone
gonna
wants
go
to
with you.
come."
Merilla's
I'll
gonna
go
go
with you.
Douse would possibly come along.
Okay, they start. We'll leave now. We'll meet you guys at the tavern. She'll look directly at Dustin. And she's like, "Don't do anything stupid." And then we'll leave with Amaris and Merilla
and Douse.
and maybe Douse. He said possibly. He has to decide.
He's gonna come along, but again, he's not going to go inside because he's not ready for that. But he wants to go in.
Okay.
Yes.
It is evening. They do let you inside, but they say, oh, only 30 more minutes before we close and lock up the temple.
Nuri just gives
Understandable.
them a little like kind of a side eye look. She's like keeps her mouth
That's-
shut. Amar seems to be like, stay calm, Nuri.
That's a fair point. It is probably more important that family gets to have their time together. And so that's when Douse would return back, planning to come by alone in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, Nuri can't help it. Okay.
Dusty's just kind of gonna follow Douse on his way out.
So Douse came to the temple and then was told that they're closing, and then he left the temple. Is that correct?
Because he's still indecisive, but he's like, well, it's more important that the family gets to spend that time with them. There's not that much time. And I would rather not be around people if I cannot handle this.
So Nuri would have actually followed after Douse and just been like, oh, I forgot to get her some flowers. She needs flowers. I'll be right back. Merilla, please look after Amaris, Yeah. And she's just gonna leave and go after Douse. And she's like,
Okay.
Douse, quick question. Sorry. Quick question.
Yes.
Okay.
Dusty is here as well, by the way.
I'm gonna summon Houdini.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Douse is gonna see that like,
Houdini.
that was yours? He was
just-
following me all day.
I was worried. Okay. I was worried. But here, she's gonna hand you Houdini and kind of like be like, Houdini, give him cuddles.
Douse is gonna like just start splashing water back at it. Like,
Here.
Don't do that, Houdini. I'll take Houdini.
And he like
back.
high or low Douse.
low.
As you're doing that, you're splashing water, Nuri's pushing him. He scratches you across the face. His talons take 1 point of damage.
I deserve it.
That's
owls
what you
is-
get, man. You can't mess with familiars.
I'm gonna
And
try and take Houdini back.
He's kind of like ruffling his feathers and he's "Ooh, ooh."
I'm
I'm
gonna give him
watching
a worm.
you.
His like
He's pointing
gaze,
not to Nuri, but to the owl. He's like, I'm watching you.
and the owl's staring you down. And as he's like staring contest with Douse, Nuri,
beat
you
that.
just the staring is intense as Houdini is unblinkingly staring at you, Douse.
He's watching you, Douse. He's watching you.
And Nuri, you just hear in your head, why do you put up, or wait, why do you put up with this guy? That's his voice.
Wait. Oh, just have a treat, Houdini. Have a treat.
Oh,
You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Houdini. You're a good boy. I'm like, sorry, Douse. I was just trying to have him. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were afraid of birds.
I'm not afraid of birds. It's my personal space, and you were shoving a bird into me. I was. Besides, this guy followed me.
at that moment, Houdini, who is like kind of like sitting on perched on Nuri's shoulder, ruffles his feathers again, and he like turns around on her, like moving his legs so his tail feathers are like facing you, Douse. And he just like kind of flaps his tail feathers, like flashing his little buttocks, and just ruffles again and just sits down. He's now facing behind Nuri.
I'm gonna have to start watching the skies from now on.
Well, that did not go well.
Dusty is
Whoops.
just watching all of this back and forth. He's just like,
Whoops. No. Douse, I'm sorry. Okay. Why he followed you was I wanted to find out if there was a particular something you knew about before I brought it up and caused problems. But now I feel like you do know because you came with us to the temple. So, what do you remember about Dane? Are you doing okay?
does Dusty remember anything about Dane and Douse?
I know you failed the check previously.
I
This
failed
would
the
have to
check
be
previously.
since then.
Oh, you failed the check previously. Yeah, make a Merilla and Dusty make a let's do a history check. To see if you remember. I guess it would just be a straight let's do a straight wisdom, actually. Wisdom check. To see if you remember.
Auto
If
fail.
you choose to auto fail.
That's
Okay,
okay.
Marilla's not even trying to remember. She's like,
Yeah, kind of.
19. The question prompts a thought in his head. He's like, do they know each other? Wait,
and
Dane. Yeah.
couple memories of Dane flip back to your memory, Dusty. You do remember a little bit. You remember seeing Dane and Douse like off talking to each other individually. But you don't I mean you can take what you will from that. You didn't see anything romantic personally. At least you don't remember anything of the sort.
Okay.
You remember Dane.
Okay. What do you mean? What do I remember about Dane? I mean, I remember who she is. I remember her joining the party. She was a really good cook. Had a lot of fun times together. We spent. Yeah. Why?
And how are you doing since these came back, the memories?
Fine.
Are you lying to
You,
me?
you can tell he's very stoic at this point. You're touching on things he doesn't want to be touched. Not yet, at least.
And you just hear a pompous
Sorry, I saw a chat and I looked over at chat. But um, look, I will not lie, it is not easy, but now is not my time. Now is family time. So you should go have fun. Or not fun. You should go spend your time with Tay and Amaris. And with that, Douse will turn around and start walking away.
Douse, you come back here when I am talking to you, and she's gonna follow after you.
Listen, we can talk later. But right now, you have possibly 20 minutes left of the day that you can go spend with your cousin. I would suggest you take the time you can, because time with family is short.
I know that a little better than most people, but I still have something to say to you. So
that can wait for later.
No, it really can't. Please turn around and talk to me. Just for a moment. I'm still following.
Fine. What? He'll turn around.
I have like my hands on my hips, and when you turn around, I kind of like do like a calm yourself motion.
and then you just hear this ooh, ooh, and a nuzzle on your head.
Typical boy. Okay. Um, I just wanted to say, Douse, was that Amaris and I, our memories have come back quite a bit about you and Dane. So if you ever need to talk or something like that, we are here for you. But the most important thing I wanted to say was what I remember most was evenings before going to bed and stuff, when she'd come back into the inn, was how happy and excited she was because of you. So just wanted you to know, Douse, that you make her happy. I know it hasn't been long, but you really do make her happy. And though you want it to be family time right now, I, as her family, would greatly appreciate you visiting her because you make her happy.
I will.
And I am grateful to you for making her happy.
Douse is gonna
That scared me so bad.
he's gonna take a moment of silence because this is part of him does want to go visit her. He's gonna take a breath. He's like, I appreciate that, and I am happy to hear that I did make her happy, and I hope I still do. I have no idea how conscious she still is. However, I do give priority to families. You may not, or you may have noticed how occasionally I will try to give people space when they need, when it's something special, stuff like that. I will visit her in the morning when I can have that time. But for now, I think since it is late and I know Amaris really wants to spend that time with her, I think you two should definitely be with her as much as possible. And I don't want to get in the way of that.
You are a very respectful young man, Douse. And I'm going to just put out my hand to shake your hand.
He'll shake it back.
Shakes your hand, has a little smile of, ha! Accomplishment. And then she'll just be like, good night, Douse, and we'll leave.
Good night. And he'll turn back and go discover what the shower is back at the
inn.
The true priority comes out.
As you
That's not
do
his true
so,
point, but it's something he uses to distract.
as you do so, your bracelet does begin to warm.
I'll just kind of whisper, I know, we're going. Don't know if
Alrighty.
Dusty is anywhere close to hear that.
He's walking behind you.
So he
He's
does.
just kind of following you.
Nuri would not have realized this, so when she turns around to leave, sees Dusty, she's a little surprised, and she's like, looks to Douse the Dusty, she's like,
Yeah, Dusty completely silent the entire encounter, by the way. He would tilt his head to watch what people were saying, but he's pretty much not there. As usual, that's kind of his thing.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you. Okay. All right. So
Man, I wish Megan was here so bad because I really want to
Absolutely.
talk with Amari.
I
About
Amaris completely silent.
yeah, Maris is just processing Dane right
perfect
now.
opportunity to
I
ask what
know.
happened. She's not here.
I know. That's so right. You'll have to ask next session. Alrighty. You do so. You guys finish up the evening, head back to the inn. Before you guys arrive there, we're gonna go to Douse and Dusty. They arrive at the inn. Mary and Brandon greet you all warmly. You see them doing their thing where she's like, "Hey, over here," and like reaches her hand back and grabs it as Brandon hands it over, and their cute little like interaction with each other. The healthy relationships here, okay? Just so cute. Um,
Dusty go, Brandon, I have a bone to pick with you. I heard you have a shower. What is this? Why didn't you tell me about it earlier?
I honestly didn't think about it. You were just kind of in a rush, trying to figure out rooms, and we got you all situated, and then you left. So
Fair enough, that's on me. Tell me about it. And they can go on, but
it's this new invention. Um, this this stranger came to town and said that he was what they call an artificer. Ooh,
hmm.
realized I was pulling on some of my cords. Um, an artificer. And Dusty, when you hear that word, you recognize that word.
Yeah, it's very familiar. He
Mhm.
perks his head up a little bit.
Yes.
Artificer. What is that? A artist of some type? Like,
He said it's someone that works with like he said the word machines. He makes things happen without magic, but with things. He builds things. Brandon's kind of like, let me just show you the showers. That
okay,
he installed.
so he's like a construction worker. Got it, got it.
Yeah, kind of. But he makes things move and build, and uh, it's
An
really
artisan?
amazing. Kind of.
Just show me.
Yeah, yeah. And he takes you guys up to where they have like the showers installed. You can hear some of them are going. But he brings you into one of the empty stalls. It's kind of like a community, like a locker room shower place, you know? Just like built out of wood. Um, and he shows you one of the stalls, and there's just this like little cord, basically. He's like, there's a basin of water up above on this, and you pull on this cord, and there's like the little nozzle
Like
with all
this,
the
and he's just gonna pull it.
you just pull it, and water starts pouring on you.
Ha! Oh, ooh, ooh.
It's all cold, not like super cold. Um, wait,
Dusty
actually,
was
no,
You've been
it's
to the bottom of
evening.
the ocean. This is fine.
No, actually, it's actually kind of warm because it's been heated by the sun pretty much all day.
There is one
Mm,
more.
Hmm. So it's kind of
this
Dusty
warm.
is
does
nice.
hop back a little bit as the water like comes down. Like it drops down, startles him a little bit. He like
He's like, oh.
jumps back a little bit.
Yes, you just pull on that cord there. And Brandon wasn't close enough to get wet, but he just like, yeah.
This is amazing. I'll take two.
It's unfortunately not portable.
I
Uh
know. I meant I'm going to be taking 2 showers
oh, okay. Well, your bracelet is getting really warm, so
tonight. Well, now it is drenched.
it's a little happier. Okay. Alrighty. So as you guys come back into the main part of the tavern, that's when Nuri and Merilla and Amaris will walk back in, seeing Douse completely drenched. Um,
Happy but
yeah,
drenched.
happy but drenched.
Hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. Um, Brandon, everyone is talking about the showers, basically. That's like the entire tavern talk right now. Um, and one of them mentions the name Azon. Um, you
Azon?
Azon. So that's Aeson. Let me make sure.
Would I at any point in the night, hear this name?
Um,
Or am I like too far away? I just want to know if I can write this down or not.
I would probably say yes.
Okay, how do you spell his name again so I can write it down?
It is Aeson.
And that's the inventor, correct?
Yes. They mention that they're like, oh yeah, I think he said his name was Azon. Um, and you could probably, if you wanted to ask around, you could probably learn more information about him, but
Uh, I will ask around when we come back from the temple. Continue with Douse and Dusty.
no, you guys
I
are
think
there
she
now.
said that we came back.
Oh, we came back? Well, then I
Yeah.
want to ask around.
You
Do
see
it.
Douse is wet but happy. You hear that. Okay, yeah, so pretty much it is this little gnomish guy that you overhear talking about it. He's sitting at a table. He's wearing a short sleeve shirt. This little gnome. He goes, "Yeah, I just this guy. His name was Aizen. Um, yeah, my friend. Jason met him before we left. Was
Jason.
yes. But the guy's name was Aizen.
I think we have something that belongs to you.
I've never met you.
No, but you've met Jason and Jason met us.
Oh, you met Jason on the road.
Yes, he's gonna like kind of like put her. Sorry, she was with Nuri, listening around, because she finds artificer stuff rather interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and
So
he
like
goes,
sets her pack to the side and she digs out the coat and she
he's
has it
like,
over.
oh my goodness, it's my coat. He took that.
Well, he said it was an accident. It just kind of ended up in his things.
Oh, of course, that's Jason's always misplacing things. Well, thank you for returning it. That was mighty kind of you.
Welcome.
So, what else did you learn about Aizen, this amazing inventor? I'm really curious.
Well, I don't think he was more of an adventurer. He didn't really seem the type. Seemed a bit too fancy, if you say so myself. Um, he white hair, very into gears and I think you were saying mechanry,
Machinery?
machinery, yeah, something like that.
Do you ever talk about special metals and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was talking about like some stuff like that, but not much. He slides the coat on. Um, just a simple little coat. He seems very happy to have it back.
Dusty is listening as well,
Okay.
by the way.
Um,
What did
so
he wear? Do you remember? I'm super into fashion these days, so I'm just curious what fancy people are wearing.
let me hold up. I gotta pull up my picture of him so I can, because I drew a picture of this guy. Yeah, he was wearing a white tunic, uh, dark brown pants. He had lots of different he had like a silver leaf on it. I remember that because it was pretty fancy, like on his vest. He wore blue cloak, white hair, blue skin, pale blue skin. He was an elf, or a smart elf.
You said he had a leaf thing on his jacket?
Yeah, it was like a silver metal leaf, something like that.
Would I recognize any of this stuff as being important, or is it kind of just nah?
You would say it was more decorative. But generally, what you would know, Nuri, is that a lot of like people from the Fey elves from the Fey Wilds would be more into like leaf decorum. You know, fancy, intricate stuff. But it's not a symbol of any house or anything. Just fanciness. He's like, yeah, he was curious guy. Was really excited to add this new invention in.
He was curious. Curious about what?
Just kind of a weird guy. Very into the mechanry, is that what you said?
Machinery.
Machinery. Yeah, he was really into that machinery. Mechanry.
Did he happen to mention where he was going next? This is an extremely rare item. I've only seen it like 2 kingdoms down in the Avalon Kingdom below here.
Where did you say you saw these?
Avalon. The Avalon Kingdom? It's one of those southern ones. There's a lot of artificers there. They're kind of, you know, the lead of this kind of machinery type dealio. They don't have a lot of them even there. At least not when I was there.
And from your knowledge, Merilla, like artificers are still even like new themselves. Like there were barely a handful when you were there. You remember hearing the name of one artificer, kind of like the leader of them all, Miles Morano.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Where am I going to add that in my notes? Man, if only Merilla knew.
If only I knew that you knew.
Oh, the connections that could be made. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
You know what? We could. Give me like
only.
buy me some time. I'll take him away.
If only.
Do I know if Miles Morano lives in the Avalon Kingdom?
Yeah.
Or if he's
like
just
when
like
you,
the head artificer?
Yeah, when you were down there, you knew like all the artificers lived there basically. He was the greatest artificer when you were down there. Like it's kind of like you know, like Thomas Edison created the light bulb. It's like you don't know all the other people that came after him who created, you know, who kept on making light bulbs, but you knew that like
We don't know who invented neon signs, but we do know Thomas Edison.
yeah, exactly. So Miles Morano is like the guy who invented artificer.
You know, it's very curious as to why this artificer came all the way up here to Akosha. There's so much distance. I wonder if perhaps the artificery is booming to some extent. Did he just show up here?
Yeah, kind of out of the blue. Just out of the blue.
Nobody asked
He
him?
was blue. Yeah, he just kind of appeared, offered to install the showers. And
we offered wait, was it for free?
Yeah, he did it all for free.
Nothing comes free in life. What the?
And I know people do kind things all the time, but interesting.
Yeah, he stayed around town for a day, maybe 2. Probably about 2 days, and just meandered about after building them, and I think he left. Haven't seen him.
Was he looking for anyone in particular, like an friend, maybe a girlfriend.
Not that I know of. He just wandered
Nuri,
around.
aren't you married?
Dude,
Did
are
you
you
just
there?
come up and say that?
No, I'm not there.
We're married. We have to have one per episode, guys.
Comes up behind, puts his hand on your shoulder. Nuri, but wait.
Douse is not there.
Super.
He's elsewhere. He's probably either in the shower or he's finished and he's getting ready for bed.
Okay.
So that did not happen, but that was just
Okay. Look, was he in town for a girlfriend or a friend?
Not
Was he maybe
no,
looking for some metals in a mine or something?
not that I know of. I didn't really question him. He just kind of walked around. That's
Did
about
he
all
hang
I
out
can
with
tell.
anyone?
No.
Was he just wandering alone?
Yeah. At least when I saw him.
Oh, you're so helpful. Thank you. Thank you for feeding my curiosity about, what fancy people are doing and all. You're so fun. It's Bob, isn't it?
Bob.
Jason told us.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Well, bye. I'm gonna leave and go talk to the innkeepers. I don't know if Merilla's saying to talk more, but
Well, it was nice to meet you, Bob. I'm glad we were able to get your jacket back to you.
Yes, thank you for that. That was very kind of you. Nice to meet you as well. What was your name?
My name is Merilla.
Merilla. Very nice to meet you.
And likewise, sorry about all the questions. She is very curious.
He just kind of shakes his head a little bit and continues drinking.
And Merilla's gonna go and follow Nuri.
Hey.
I just
Where are you
wanted to
going?
be known. I've started the 18th page of my notes since the campaign started.
Huzzah.
That is beautiful. We need to get you the actual Nuri's notebook.
Yes,
I know.
that's awesome.
I'm starting to run out of pages.
Which, in case you guys didn't know, we do have Nuri Spellbook on our store. Just go to the About page in our Twitch and click our store, and you can get your very own notebook for that Nuri Spellbook.
We should do that
No,
Notes
every
not
time.
included.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
not
not
included.
included.
We should do that we should promote that every single time the notebook's mentioned. I think that would be hilarious. Just every
That'd be
single time.
way too many
By the
times.
way,
Way too
By
many
the way,
times. Do you know how many times I refer to this?
you want to
Hey,
be a
that's a
great
lot of promotion.
note taker in D&D? Buy Nuri Spellbook.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Magical pen not included.
Darn it, we need to get a feather pen on there though.
That's
That'd
funny.
be cool.
Multi-rainbow feather pen. Okay, yes. Where are you going?
I'm going to talk to Brandon, and I'm not looking at my notes, but I believe it's Mary.
Yep, it's Mary.
Mary. Okay.
Brandon and Mary.
Brandon and Mary.
Okay.
Houdini is still on my shoulder.
Yeah, he is now facing forward,
Okay. I'll just go up and be like, Brandon, Mary, I just have a quick question, if you have the time.
Brandon seems a little more busy than Mary, so Mary kind of comes over and she goes, "Yeah, how can I help?"
I just heard about this amazing inventor, Aizen, who came and visited. I just had a couple questions.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's kind of seems to be talking about him lately.
Was he ever visiting the mines at all? Was he here for special ores or something?
I'm not sure, actually. He never really said what he was here for.
Oh, did he ever visit anyone? Does he have a girlfriend? Not for me.
I
I'm
don't-
super married, but
No, I don't know. He just came in and offered to build the showers there, and well, Brandon said he had heard about the rumor of showers before. I didn't quite believe it, but word travels very far by word of mouth. And well, anyways, we said that he could build one outside, and then, well, he did. Brought him some lemonade, and eh, it was very kind of him. He ended up building an entire shower house.
In
Lemonade?
2 days.
I love the difference between the thing that stands out to both of you. Lemonade for Merilla and 2 days for Nuri.
Hey, listen, they got their priorities set. They know what they care about.
True. Okay. Yeah, he was here for about 2 days. Um, don't know where he is anymore. He just kind of up and left, but
Do you know what direction he was leaving? Never
no,
mentioned.
he just kind of appeared, built something, left.
I
And
heard
he's
he did it
never
for
been here
free.
He did do it for free. It was
Do you ever say
very
why
kind
he
of
did it
him.
for free?
He mentioned something about just wanting to test his skills and just wanted to improve our establishment. Also mentioned spreading about good, but it's always nice when you meet good strangers like that.
It's true. It is nice to meet good people. Sorry, Nui, you were about to say something. I can see it written all over your
No.
face. What's the
That
next
was-
question?
That was a beautiful question, really. She's scribbling down some notes.
Journalist Nuri, you have any more questions?
I need to write some papers about this. Just kidding. Articles, send it out. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally taking a journalism class right now, so it's just kind of funny.
And he's never been here before, not even once.
No, never met the guy.
That's so weird. Wow, that's really cool though. He just did it for free.
Yes, it was very, very sweet of him. Very good-hearted.
He gives us
Especially
definitely.
after we've all been through the horrible thing with the monster in the mines. So it's been nice change of pace to have someone visit to do something good.
Marilla's gonna glance over at Nuri. Does
I
Nuri
look at
glance
her.
back?
I'm kind of like pointing at my notebook, and I'm like,
Again.
you talk with her?
How soon after we left did he come by?
Maybe a day after you left?
So he just barely left himself, correct?
Yes.
And he didn't happen to say where he was going? I know no one really saw which direction he went, but did he happen to mention?
Nope, he just said he had to be on his way.
All right.
Thank you, Mary. You're so helpful. You're just
course.
amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to be helpful. Though, by the way he was dressed, I guess I would make a guess to say he would be headed towards the Versailles dynasty, but not 100% sure. That's a total guess on my part.
So his blue clothing was very ornate and decorative?
Yes, I would assume he was headed to the Versailles dynasty. They're much more wealthy than us over here in the Akosha Kingdom. Well,
Hmm.
that is both true and not true. The wealthy are very wealthy and the poor are very poor there. But
Yes, there is a huge gap between the two.
that's the Versailles dynasty for you.
Yes. Do you think they're also running out of resources down there?
I don't know much for the politics over there, especially since we haven't really had many people come and visit in the past while. When we do, we probably forgot about them, if we're being honest.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Some people
Greg's
are
face.
just forgettable. It's very true.
That's why you should write everything down.
I mean, I was more thinking in the belly of a monster that made you forget things, but
Some people are forgettable. Some people are easily prompted to forget.
I
mean, it's just-
yes. Yes, some people are naturally forgotten and others enchantedly forgotten. It's very true. Merlin's gonna
Yes.
awkward change it up.
She was,
Thank you,
regardless,
Mary.
I don't know much about the Versailles dynasty other than that.
Well, it's alright. I mean, that kind of private they keep to themselves. Not as much as the Sleeburg Empire, though.
Yes, the Sleeburg Empire is very much more private than the Versailles dynasty, but the Versailles dynasty does have its own secrets.
Most definitely. Would it be alright if I got a pint of milk, please, Mary?
Of course, on the house, and she
Thank you so much, Mary.
hands it to you. She goes, milk, and then Brandon fills it and brings it over.
You two are truly the best.
We try to be. Anything else?
Oh, that'll be it, Mary. Thank you so much. Toodaloo, and I'm gonna just walk away.
Of course.
Follows after Nuri.
Once Merilla is away from Mary, and if we're away from other people, if it's like Dusty's there, like that's totally chill. Actually, is Dusty down there still, or did he go up to the room? Is Douse down there?
I'm up in my room.
You're up in the room, okay. Is
Dusty
down
was
here?
down here listening to the conversations you guys are having. Most like he's sitting on a table. It's not like he's right there, but he's been listening in on the conversations that you two have been having.
I'm gonna go over to where Dusty is and look around at the shadows before I talk.
Roll perception.
No. My perception is trash. We know this already. Okay. Actually, my rolls are trash. Okay. Perception. 16.
Hey.
You see the shadows are flickering. Because it's tavern, it's lots of people around. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. No.
I'm gonna sit in a position where I can keep my eyes on the lights that are flickering the most.
Okay.
Sort of facing that way. Then I'm gonna lean in and be like, I don't like this Asian fellow. I don't like him at all.
It
Seems
is all
nice.
rather. Sorry, what
Dusty-
was that, Dusty?
Dusty kind of shrugs. He says, "I don't know. He seems kind of nice." I will say with the and then he like looks specifically at Nuri and he's like, with the yeah, that is a little bit. It is interesting, but he does seem nice. He doesn't seem evil.
I mean, he did do
Say.
something awfully nice for free,
Very
building
kind.
an extremely rare machine this far away from where the artificers typically gather.
Isn't it
Yeah.
strange though that he just happens to show up the day after we leave and happens to leave right before we come? I mean, okay, two thoughts here. One, he's after someone. Two, did he make the Hydra?
I don't
Because
think
he came,
artificers
right
deal
after
with
us.
organic material. I think the whole point is to make inorganic things that work.
That doesn't mean he
Boys.
doesn't dabble in something else. I'm just
Like
saying
how
it's
you
weird.
dabble in necromancy?
He could. He could be those reasons those undead were there. He could be.
I
And
don't know.
it's just weird that he shows up from this far away place. And honestly, it's kind of weird that he came up this far. It's very weird.
Yes, I do agree
Very
with that.
weird. And just why would he come here the day after this powerful creature was killed? I'm just saying it's very suspicious. It's lining up very suspiciously.
People travel,
Yes.
move around.
Like I come from the almost exact opposite of the continent that we live on. Me time here.
Who has a map? Does anyone have a map?
Would you like me to move you guys to the map page?
Just for a second, yeah.
Well, if
People
you give
are
me
mad.
something to draw with, I could draw somewhat of a replica for you. I feel like she would have one, but I don't think I ever added it to hers.
Yeah, you would probably have a map. What you guys
Please.
would know is I'm going to point to this on the map for the viewers who are watching. The Avalum Kingdom is down here on the southern end of the continent, of the main continent of Kalimber, with its capital being Krogard. And the players are currently up here in Dragondale. Oh, wait, let me move that little quest marker. Oh, wait, whoops, that was an accident because that is the you are here. And yeah, no, their quest marker is currently there. So I guess I did have it all right. But yes, and the players are currently here in the Akosha Kingdom in the city of Dragondale, where they are attempting to head into the Sonoran Desert. And
Okay, so Merilla whips out this
yeah.
map. It's a very general big map. It's not one of her more detailed maps that she happens to possess.
Mhm. Oh,
We'll see.
just to finish for the people who are viewing, or if they're listening to this, the Akosha Kingdom is on the far northern end of the map, and the Versailles dynasty that we've been mentioning is just south of the Akosha Kingdom, more in like the middle of the continent. All right, now back to you, Merilla.
Also, if I might add, this is also in the southern hemisphere of the world, so it's opposite to what we northern hemispheres are used to. The top is warm and the bottom is cold.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very interesting. Anyway, so we're up here in the Akosha Kingdom, and I'm imagining we're sitting across from each other. She like swivels the map to face more you and Dusty, and then Avalon. That's what you wanted to point out, right? Is right down there. It kind of has that whole tip and then half of the. Shoot, what are the mountains called again? I forgot. Are they the Sleeburg Mountains?
The Sleeburg Empire is in the mountains.
Yeah, and then what's the name of the mountain range?
The mountains. The Rocky Mountains. They are the Rocky
Mountains.
Okay. It's gonna be the Rocky Mountains. Canon.
And then
That's
it like
what it
has
is.
that border of the Rocky Mountains beside it, which then goes to the Touring Kingdom. But yes, it's right there. That's where a lot of the artificers are. I believe they're led by some guy called Miles Morano, something like that.
Dusty actually stiffens up at that.
I look up. I'm like,
not like, but he seems more surprised than anything. He's like, oh.
Merilla's going to continue for half of the next sentence. Well, maybe, this guy sent him up here, some sort of advertisement to make people more interested in there. There's something you kind of jolted, Dusty. What was that?
Nothing. I didn't know the name of You're sure that's the ruler of that? And he like gestures.
But no. He doesn't rule it. He's just the best artificer.
Oh,
and he just so
okay.
happens to live. I think he lives there at least. I just know he's like the head top honcho guy
He like
of the
nods
artificers.
and he like leans back in his seat and he's like, okay, yeah, I get it now. Okay, yeah, I was just
Unlike other people, I've never met him. I've just heard the name mentioned by one or two artificers I happened to be able to speak briefly with at a tavern I stayed at.
he nods.
It's a long time ago. I could be getting the name wrong.
No, that sounds right. Miles Morano. I mean that phonetics and yeah. And he's like gestures. Yeah, anyway, you were saying maybe promotional whateverness for artificers.
Yes, and if this Miles Morano guy is trying to do that, he, gosh, sent him an awfully long way. Or perhaps this artificer guy is just super dedicated.
Dusty he like brings a fist up to his chin and he like taps. Interesting. That is a long way to travel.
It is. It's literally all the way across the map. And then the Sleeburg Empire, they never let anybody through there, so he must have had to have gone around. Maybe he got his fancy clothes from the Versailles.
They do let people through Swiftgate. That is the one city in the Sleeburg Empire that is.
But isn't that like up higher?
No, so Swiftgate is in a mountain pass. So
okay.
that's like the main range that people go through, and it's the only like city in the Sleeburg Empire that's really open to trading and like to outsiders and stuff. But anywhere else in the Sleeburg Empire, people are not happy with. So people can travel through Swiftgate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah. He still would have had to gone like around, but yeah, he could have gone through there. Okay.
So he could have either gone to the left or to the right. You don't know.
Either way, he crossed several borders to do this.
I wonder how many he's made. Not important in the least, but it is a fun question.
Yeah.
What else did you want the map for, Nuri?
Well, that depends on Sierra finding something in her very, very long list of pictures from a long time ago.
Do you want me to answer a question? Because I'm sorry I don't have the picture of the map, of the other map on hand. I will get it to you later, but it's in a binder that is buried in the closet.
Oh, okay.
Sarah
Okay,
knows of the binder.
I gotcha.
The deep lore binder.
The deep
I think I know what this picture is, which doesn't really matter because anyway. But
yes. But is there something that you would like for me to describe to you?
I don't think it's something we can know. Yeah. It's not something I want to have answered.
Let me see if I can snag it. So you guys are just going to bear with me for a moment. I will move from my perch here.
It's like buried way back in my pictures. The lore. The ancient lore.
Dusty, I understand you've only really been around up here on this top part of Collinburg, right?
Yep.
Have you ever heard of like the other kingdoms that are further down? You've never seen snow, have you?
He doesn't answer that.
Dusty, do you know what snow is?
Yeah, it's like frozen water. It's like ice, right? It's like powdery white.
Yes, okay, good.
I mean, I understand what snow is. I- and he kind of
Well-
like looks down. He's like, yeah, yeah, I know, yeah.
Well, down in the south, there's an awful lot of it. And when it gets really cold, the ice freezes over. And when we try to go ice fishing, we have to hack out the boats somewhat.
And where did you say you were from again?
Why, I never told you, actually. I'm from the Abyssal Kingdom. And she, like, points to it on the map.
Oh shoot, Avesta. And he like
That's right beside Avalon.
drags his finger from Avalon up to Avesta, and he's like, "Oh yes, I see." And then he's like,
I have returned and I have sent you the map. Miss
Perfect.
Sierra.
Thank you. Thank you.
he nods, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, no, I know, yeah, that makes sense." I'm not too, I'm not too much of a geography brain myself, but yeah.
It's all right. Sometimes we know of things, but then we don't truly understand them until we experience them. It's one of the things I like about traveling.
Mhm.
But yes, if you want to be even more specific, I come from West Hollow. That's the place I first stepped on land, as I like to put it. She points to the port on the map.
Oh,
Right there.
West Hollow is right down here in the Abesta Kingdom, which is just north of the Avalon Kingdom.
It's the best kingdom.
It's the best kingdom. It's the
Ibista.
best one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fantastic. Just like the one we're in is the Kosha Kingdom. It's the most kosher the kingdoms. Anyway, so actually, high or low, Merilla.
Hi.
Okay. Dusty is just kind of nods, and he says, "Yeah, I feel like I've seen snow at some point. I feel like I've seen it somewhere." Yeah.
Wait, does Merilla know that? Oh, wait, she does know that you've been to the monastery with
I have been
Douse.
with Douse.
So you haven't only been around the desert. Okay.
Yeah, he has explored a little bit. He's traveled some.
Okay. Well, if you went near the Rocky Mountains, I can't believe we're calling it
The
that.
Rocky Mountains. Wow.
You've definitely at least seen it in the distance.
Maybe I should have called it the Stony Mountains.
It's okay.
Too late. It's canon.
Stony Hills.
It's the Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains. The end.
Woo!
I mean, we could eventually change. It's okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe someday our adventures will take us near the Rocky Mountains. And we'll be able to show you snow, like how we showed Tax the waterfall earlier today.
Oh yes, I saw you guys doing that. That was good for her.
You've seen a waterfall, haven't you, Dusty?
He kind of thinks about it. It actually depends. Because so to get to the monastery that he's been at, he would have had to travel from the desert. And so it would look something like that on the map, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so he probably wouldn't have run into a waterfall. So probably not. Not there.
Yeah, and if anything, it would have been more of like brooks and streams and stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe like a little mini waterfall, but not like a big one.
Yeah.
Still a waterfall.
He shakes his head. He says, "I've seen a lot of water though. At the monastery." Yeah.
You were
I bet.
allowed in the monastery?
Yeah, I studied there.
You studied there?
Yeah. A little bit
Our
with Douse.
pamphlet didn't talk about that.
Well, yeah, it's they here I got you. Don't worry. I'll just so Dusty he says, yeah, I studied there a little bit. I learned some ways to manipulate water um into well into shapes, and specifically I learned to cast the ice knife spell, or at least that's what they call it. I learned a few other things there as well. That's actually where I
So
met.
you take water and you whoosh it into ice and then you shoot it at somebody, the sharp side.
Yep,
Sounds awfully
this-
dangerous.
it is. That's kind of the point.
At
But
this point, Brandon walks up to you guys at your table, and as he comes, it almost is like startling. You notice that nobody else is in the tavern, and he's like, It's really late. We're
oh,
we're cleaning up. Can you go to bed?"
Oh, sorry, Brandon. She kind of like starts to roll back up her map.
oh yes, of course. We got a little carried away.
No offense. I just you could probably do this up in your room, or we're just trying to close down the tavern so Mary and I can get to bed.
Yeah,
Of
no
course.
problem.
So sorry.
No worries. It's really dark out. You might need your strength.
Of course, we'll be up. Dusty stands up. Starts going.
Did you see any of their ancient knowledge books? As we're walking up the stairs.
Yeah, tomes, teachers, all kinds of magic. Well, mostly elemental stuff, but other magics too.
Do you think? No, possibly not. Do you think Douse has seen it? He probably has. The
The
knowledge stuff.
monastery. Oh,
No,
the
not
knowledge
the
stuff.
knowledge stuff.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, yeah, he was there longer than I was.
So he probably has.
Mm-hmm. I just got like intro stuff. Throwing at the wall. Ice knife's a really simple spell.
You got a little more than the pamphlet.
Did they have anything about life and death there, or?
More importantly, Dusty, did you have to eat coral raw?
Yeah, they don't cook anything down there.
How did you even eat?
He just kind of shrugs. He's like, "You bear through it."
No. How did you breathe?
They provide these like spheres for you. It's like you can breathe in it. It's magic, air.
Magic.
Sorry, Nuri interrupted you.
No. That's fine. That's good knowledge.
You guys are right outside of the doors now.
While they had been downstairs, Douse would have asked a question to his wonderful bracelet.
Ooh, fantastic.
Okay.
Anyways, so Douse walking into his room would kind of just sit down and be like, question. I know your highness, your high and mightiness, whatever the heck you want me to call you, I forget.
Hmm.
Yes. Is there a way for you to gradually throughout the day siphon water? Or how does that work? Because I'm trying to plan around it, you see? And if you could, because I know you can siphon it from me, but if we could find a balance of that would be nice.
What ways are you suggesting? Because
I
I
mean,
grow thirsty at times and can't quite seem to quench it.
fair enough. Spitballing here. What if I were to take a bath every night and then you just have it then?
thoughts that are running through my mind is she's literally drinking bath water.
She's
That's
been
so
doing
gross.
it.
I know. It's just so funny.
Don't think deeply about it.
Hmm. How about you quench my thirst partly in the morning and partly in the evening, and that way I won't bother during the day.
Sounds doable.
I am
I just,
used to constantly being
I understand.
replenished.
And you may have noticed, I am particular about who I trust with different knowledge, which is why I'm wanting to keep this on the down low.
Hmm. Yes, your companions do seem a bit interesting.
Honestly, it's like they haven't had a single bad thing happen to them in their life.
I highly doubt that. Bad
I
is
understand.
relative.
Yes. Anyways,
And I can tell you that
I'm
this is not the worst thing to have happened to you in your life.
interesting you would say that, but that's for a different time. Wait, have you been aware of me this entire time I've been wearing you?
Yes. Did you not notice me there? The constant
No.
flow of water within your mind?
I just assumed that was the currents.
Well, I mean, you were underwater, so I mean, kind of daft a bit, but
Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm just trying to find a way to not arouse too much suspicion from unwanted eyes, is all.
But I do know that you had a pair of eyes that you did want.
I mean, we don't need to go into that at the moment.
I'm here.
Fair enough. Well, I will, I guess, water you in the morning and in the evenings.
Yes, but don't treat it like a chore. It is a great honor to have me by your side.
I mean, I understand you're very powerful,
Mm-hmm. Quite.
but I still don't understand who you are. I won't treat it as a chore. I will agree to that.
You what?
So I will not treat it as a chore. I will agree to that.
I appreciate that. And since we are working together, I am relenting on some things, so I appreciate the effort.
Not at all. It is nice to be appreciated.
Likewise.
Well, I think I will be hitting the sack now, but thank you for at least talking with me a little bit this evening.
Of course. It is the only conversation I can have right now, so
I mean, I do not mind the occasional interruption if you ever needed something to talk about, but
I am ancient. I do not dabble in quite the dramatics that your friends seem to dabble in.
if you do.
I do.
I said few.
Oh, I
F-U-W.
was like, I thought you said you do. I was like, hold up now. You do. Yes, yes, they are quite the dramatic bunch.
Anyways, good night. And with that, that's when he would end.
And you just hear, like, as you're drifting off into sleep, be like, can you dream of you just hear this like quiet in the back of your mind. Can you dream of something other than water sometimes? Kind of boring.
It's where I grew
She's
up.
aware of like
It's
all
what
his
I knew.
thoughts.
That's his thought process. Like, that's all I knew before this. What do you want me to dream of? It's practically the air I breathed.
That's so top notch. I love that.
Alrighty. So you guys come up the stairs, head to your respective rooms, and go to bed.
Actually, I'm gonna have Dane roll a high or low on this one.
Let's go low again.
Okay, so Dusty comes into the room and Douse is asleep, and so Dusty, he like walks in and he sees that you're asleep.
Is he going to wake me up?
And oh, that'd be really funny if he did. Wouldn't that be very funny? Now I gotta roll the die and see if he does or not. Okay. Okay. So Dusty comes into the room and he like looks at Douse. And then he stands there and he just kind of contemplates. And he takes his pack off and he like sets it down and he looks back towards Douse. And then he walks up to him and he like tries to shake him awake. Like grabs his shoulder, shakes him a little bit.
Actually, high or low on that?
Let's go with the high.
Okay. Yeah, nothing happens. Continue.
Okay, yeah, he shakes him awake.
I mean, it takes a second because he had gotten into a little bit of a deep sleep.
Considering he was dreaming, yeah.
It's just waterfalls from what I've learned earlier in the day and everything.
And then Dusty's
What?
voice.
What?
Douse. Douse.
I had a
Douse.
nightmare.
Douse, you awake?
You were there.
Dusty like cocks his head. He's like, no. What? No, I'm
Dusty, what are you doing here?
I'm
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, this is our room. Can I help you with something?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to wake you. Well, I didn't want to have to wake you.
Yeah, yet you still did.
Yeah. I could you help me with something?
Sure. What
Yeah.
can I help you with?
Yeah, sorry, it's late. You have to sleep and stuff. The Dusty actually seems very out of sorts right now. Like he seems pretty off right now. Like you can tell visibly. Like usually he's very stoic, and he doesn't move around very much. He turns his head to look at people, but that's about it. But you can see like he's like, you can see him like tilting his head like to the sides. You can see he's like shivering a little bit, which you've never seen him do before. And he just seems different than normal.
You're shivering, Dusty. Do you have a fever? You need a blanket?
No, I don't have a fever. A lot's been happening recently. And I'm not very good at processing things.
Take your time.
Yeah. And he kind of like laughs a little bit. Yeah. So I know this is a really strange request, but it would help me a lot.
I mean, it's coming in the middle of the night. That's our alone makes it strange, but let's go.
Yeah. Would you mind sparring with me?
I mean, not at all. Is there a reason? Like right now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're okay with that, but like it would just really help me relieve some of. Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
All right. Um, do we have a place to do this?
Outside, it doesn't really matter where.
All right. Give me 5 minutes to just get some of the blood flowing, and I'll meet you downstairs at the entrance.
Yep. And you see him like walk over to his bed, and he reaches down into his pack and picks up his quarterstaff and his totem. Well, it's a necklace that has a little totem on it, but he takes that and like puts it around his neck, and then he like nods and he walks out the door.
All right. He's gonna get up, do some stretches a little bit, kind of get himself going again. And say, "All right, midnight practice, just like with the coach. Let's go." Go out and meet him down there.
So no one's downstairs.
No.
Is the front door open or is it locked?
It is locked.
Okay. So it is closed up.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know that like there are windows that aren't locked.
Technically could go out the windows, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, Dusty probably would do that. He comes down, he like reaches for the door. It doesn't budge. And there's windows on this floor, or is it only on the
Yeah, no, there are
Okay.
windows on all the floors. They usually have like shutters because there's no like glass or anything. They're
Mhm.
just like shutters. They do have like simple locks on the inside, like a deadbolt basically, but not like a lock.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can just unlatch it.
Yeah, Dusty would just unlatch it and then he'd like open it and then he'd just kind of sit on the windowsill and wait for Douse.
All right. By this time, Douse will probably come out. Like, do we need to lock this door, or it'll be fine if we leave it unlocked, right?
Yeah. We can just go out the window and when we come back in, we'll lock it back up.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
We're gone. The whole place gets robbed.
The whole place. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get to a clearing, I guess.
Yep.
Do they have like a nice open back area, or
Yeah, kind of by the well.
I'm assuming two people brawling in the street is gonna look bad, but
Ooh. Yeah, you
By
get
the
well, you know
well.
the well is kind of a more quiet, not as well viewed place.
Dusty doesn't
Alright.
bring any like care for where this happens. He's like literally anywhere at all. He probably would have done it in the room if you said that would have been best for you.
Douse is very conscientious of other people, if you have not noticed. So he's trying to say, all right, let's find a spot that we're not interrupting people. So we'd go to the well. That's probably where he'd go.
Good.
All right. Get in there. He'd stretch a little bit. What are the rules to this bout? So one of us is unconscious, or
Yeah. Let's go with that. Let's do that.
falling asleep in worse ways?
And Dusty, he like brings out his quarterstaff and he's like, I really appreciate you doing this for me. It really does mean a lot. And he like takes his totem off and he casts Shillelagh on his quarterstaff.
Okay.
Douse is gonna walk 30 paces and be like, all right, pull out a copper coin. When this lands, we go.
Yep.
Wait, before you throw it, um, You feel the watery presence back in the back of your mind. And you just hear, "Ooh, this one's quite interesting.
Yeah,
I will
first for
enjoy
everything.
seeing you do this bout. I think we're about to learn something." And then you feel the water kind of like coiling on your neck again.
It's like, all right, this is between us, though. I would appreciate if you
Hmm.
keep this formal.
Just watching. Don't worry, I won't help
Yeah,
in any way.
thank you. All right,
Nice. Flip a
initiative.
coin. You flip a coin. Let's roll initiative, and let's see
Roll
who
initiative.
goes first. Wow.
Gosh. Okay. So I'm going to say that all the blows that you do will be for knockout. Okay. Since you're doing
Mhm.
this,
Holy
we're
smoke.
just going to throw you on the forest path here.
Forest path.
Yeah.
Let's
We don't really
do.
have like a
Okay,
dirt
hold on.
path that I want to use right now.
Okay, so we're about 30 paces away from each other, or not
So
30 paces, about 30 feet.
yeah, so you guys place yourselves as you would.
All right, let's see.
Um,
About there. That's part. Yeah. Yeah, we're about there. Something like that. Fantastic. Okay, let me roll that initiative, see what I get.
All right, you go first. I rolled a. Well, actually, I think I got a 16 with my.
I got a 16. What's your dexterity modifier?
My dex is 2, I believe.
My dex is 1, so if you want, we can reroll, or you can go first. I'd be happy either way.
I'll take the first move, but Douse is going to be a gentleman since it is your starting, or you want to do this. He'll let you have the first move.
Okay.
But after this, you'll take the.
wait,
Uh,
so
that makes
Dusty, you got a
that makes it
16,
confusing.
Yes, I did.
and Douse,
Douse's
you got a
first
what?
move is to hold his action.
He
I got
got
a
a
16.
16, but he has a +2 to his dex, so I was like, you go first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Douse is going to hold his action to strike when you get in range. Is basically what it ends up being.
All right. Okay, let's see here. This is so fun. This is just a fun little thing. So, Dusty, he like watches you for a second and he sees that you're not like he sees you ready yourself, but it doesn't seem to really matter to him. And he just kind of runs towards you. And he's relatively silent. He gets into range, so you can make a hit.
Yep.
Okay, so it is Douse's turn.
Well, I held my action, is what it was.
Oh, you held your action. That's what it is. Okay.
Yep.
So do your action.
11 plus...
This is intense. It's like not PvP, but like it is PvP.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm literally like on
That
the edge
is
of my
a 15
seat.
to hit.
15 hits. Roll damage.
All right, that is a D4. 3 damage.
3 damage. All right.
These are all
So
gonna
you-
end up being like bruises at the end, basically. Maybe some cuts and nicks and stuff, whatever you guys want. But obviously no critically killing blows.
Yeah, we're not killing each other.
I'm up for
I'm
blood.
just
What are you
saying.
talking about?
All right.
I need
Okay,
to
I
see,
stand
does
corrected.
Dusty actually bleed?
You smack him, and as you do, the
Just a
edge of
nice,
his quarterstaff
gentle
comes
jab.
up. Yeah, you get a nice gentle jab, and then you see his quarterstaff like coming up from below as he's like falling backwards as he tries to hit you with it. And that'll be the 9 to hit. Looks like the hit knocked him just back enough that you could see the quarterstaff before it hit you.
Yep. My
It swipes
AC,
right in front.
realizing how intense of a fight this might actually end up being, because he's using weapons, whatnot.
It was a hard swing, by the way. It was not. He was like swinging real hard for you.
He was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you felt the wind right in front of your face as it 1 inch away from your nose, swished up. It was only from the force of your punch that kind of knocked him back a little bit that it missed.
with that, so Douse is gonna take a step further in, and he's gonna go for uppercut and use a key point to do. What was it? The flurry of blows.
It just
Okay.
boys being boys, just
Yes.
dudes being dudes.
I'm trying to
Okay.
find flurry. I haven't used this in so long. I have to remember what it does. Or how
Roll
to use
it.
Yeah.
Punch
All right,
really
roll
fast.
to hit for your uppercut.
Flurry blows. You attack twice. You can make a bonus action strike as well for a third punch, if you want to.
Okay, so does that take? So flurry of blows takes my action, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you're basically making 2 attacks, and then you get a third attack with the bonus action.
Okay. First one is a dirty 20. No,
Oh,
22.
that hits.
Okay.
Also, as it turns out, the bonus action is where the flurry of blows happens. So you do use your bonus action for 2 hits, and then your action can be used for 1. Or additionally, anything else you'd like,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So
Okay.
basically, if you take the attack action and your flurry of blows, you get 3 hits.
Okay, so either way, I get 3 hits. The second one is also 22.
That also hits.
And then third one,
Did you roll for damage on the first one? Or you're
I
just
haven't
rolling?
rolled yet.
Okay.
Third one is also 22. That's with 2 different dice.
Nice. The
Okay.
triple 22. The 22 also hits, in case you're
Okay.
curious.
So that's going to be first hit is 3 damage, then 7 damage, so 10, and then 5 damage. Wait, yeah, 5 damage, so 15
So
damage from.
15. Yeah, so Douse comes up with an uppercut right to the chin, and then comes up from the side to go and do a blow to your chest, kind of knocking at you and stumbling a little bit. Right as he comes down with another punch straight into your shoulder.
And with that, he'd take a step back, like, "Come on, man! I just don't want to be beaten on you."
You see, Dusty, he stumbles back a little bit and he shakes his head, and he looks back up at you, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to let you." And then he is going to do a very fun little thing. So he holds out his hand with his totem inside of it and draws a sigil in the air. And you see a totem appear next to him, and it takes the form of a hawk. And then he takes his staff. The bird. You hate birds, Douse. And then he smacks you with his stick, and he's going to use his reaction to give himself advantage on his attack.
Okay.
I don't hate birds. I just don't like Houdini.
That's a natural 20.
Got a natural 20 for my advantage hit.
Which means you
And,
get to do double damage.
Nice. So let's see. If I click that, it should double it for me automatically. So it is a 10 roll plus a 6 roll plus 4 plus 4. So that's 14 total.
14 total?
14.
Yep. He swings down his
Okay.
quarterstaff, hits you on your shoulder.
All right. Took a decent chunk of my health. But I'm still standing. I'm still ready to go.
Yeah, as you kind of recover from the blow, you come down with the shillelagh. Where did you want to strike with that?
On his shoulder.
on a shoulder. It smacks down on the shoulder. Yeah, definitely stings.
Douse is gonna be a little dazed, like, oh, all right, let's go.
Fully
this.
awake now.
He's gonna come around behind you to come. So do a quick like run around just to get behind you, and he's gonna do the same thing again, flurry of blows, but this time without you being able to see it coming. And he's going 1 for the knee, and then just 2 for the back of the head.
Okay.
And so here goes the 1 for the knee. 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
That hits.
Nat 20.
That hits.
On the back of the head, okay.
In case you're curious.
Yep. And the other one is a nat 1.
Okay.
Nice.
So we'll resolve the nat 1 last. First do the back of the knees, dirty 20.
So that is 2 plus, is it 2 plus 2? So that's 4 damage to the knee. Back of the head, 4. And I double the dice, right?
Yes.
So 8. That's 10 damage.
That
10
does knock him down.
Okay.
Unconscious or
Unconscious, yeah. We were
Yeah, 'cause
playing
it-
till unconscious.
Yeah,
Mm.
so the way that this happens is you go and you strike him in the back of the knee. He kind of buckles a little bit, which lowers him down enough to your height level that you can punch him in the back of the head with the heel of your hand, and you just knock him right out. And he kind of like buckles his knees more as you were going in with another punch. For the other one, you just kind of like wildly swing and miss as he just like falls face first into the dirt.
I like to imagine that it is unexpected for me. I was expecting him to be more robust, and with that, I go forward and probably flip over onto the other side with him.
Okay, you can do so.
Just kind of whipping air, but I'm like on my back over here, like, whoa, what? Oh, crap. He's just gonna be like, I was going to let him win. What do I do now? What do I do now?
And then you just hear the voice in the back of your head. This does make quite the predicament.
I know he needed this.
You just don't. You underestimate your own strength.
Well, I appreciate it. Could have sworn you're gonna assume it was your strength, but and then I will just try and. Do I have anything to heal him?
Probably not. Unless you got the health potion.
Uh,
Do you
I believe Merilla
wish for
has those
assistance?
actually.
Yeah.
if you have anything to, just something small, I would appreciate it. I do not have any potions on me.
If I do this
Wait,
for
can
you,
she heal?
you owe me a favor.
Oh. Don't do it, Douse. Don't do it.
What kind
It's
of
a trap.
favor?
Nothing big. As this
Small.
is not terribly big. He's in no
Okay.
immediate danger.
Yes, I could just let him be, but I appreciate it.
Mhm.
I will do a small favor for you when time comes.
I appreciate it. A girl does like some favors from time to time. At least that's
Fair
what I
enough.
choose. Small favors. And
Oh wait,
she,
I have pieces of rabbit jerky.
if you want to, you can stop that, but she's already.
I'll save it for later. I'll save it.
No,
For...
do it.
The
Cancel
water,
the favor.
it's
Dude!
trickling down off of the bracelet, out of the bracelet.
I've already made this commitment, though it would have been hilarious to have Dusty wake up with a piece of rabbit in his mouth.
You would have removed his wrappings.
Oh Lord.
That is something personal. I've already messed with him trying to figure out his identity. I respect the man a little.
Okay, so the water kind of drips off the bracelet. It's cooling and forming and bubbling, kind of coming out of the whirlpool gem on your bracelet, as it drips down onto his wrappings. And you see it just like kind of seep down. Um, and you just hear in the back of your mind, interesting.
Don't pry too much into his life. I understand you can use water to do who knows what, but
Oh, trust me, I just enjoy learning the little things. And he's got quite a few things. And you don't see the water anymore. Um, but
oh,
after a few moments, you're kind of waiting there like, is something going to happen? Um, and Dusty, you come back to consciousness with like a breath of air, like um almost shockingly, as if you were like it almost felt like your mind was just dunked in water. Freezing cold ice water is like what it almost feels like, but you're not wet.
So Dusty, he like jolts up, and he actually like puts an arm out and like grabs you at like your clavicle. He's like, "Oh, you won.
that's just like full
You
rage
won."
to just be thrown. He's like, I would
He,
have
like,
accepted it.
he like puts his hand down, and he like gets up onto his knees, and
I
he says,
apologize. People I usually spar with are a little bit more robust than this.
"Yeah, no, 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 no. That's totally all right. That was very helpful."
Glad it could help. Shall we return, or do you need to go a second round?
He like
You're up with
shakes.
like 5 hit points.
Oh, good to know. He
Yeah.
he like shakes his head. He's just like, "No, no, that's all right. That was enough. That was enough. Again, thank you for letting me. I just needed to get knocked around a little bit. Um, my head got all scrambled." And he like stands up and gets his good like 2.5 feet taller than you again. He like brushes himself off, picks up his quarterstaff, and he leans on it a little bit.
I'd say I'd go without weapons next time, but I didn't use any.
He kind of chuckles, and he's like, "No, that's all right. It's good to have you on the team."
All right. Well, hope this helped you out. Let's head back.
Dusty nods and he walks back with you, limping a little bit on his stick. The knee that you seem to have punched, he's like trying to avoid putting weight on it.
Okay, you
Again,
guys
and he
make it
like
through the
locks the
window.
door behind him. The window locks the window behind him.
Okay, you guys make it back up to your room. And go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. And the morning comes.
I'm just gonna say I flippin' loved watching that. That was amazing. I love that.
Little battle.
Yeah, so Dusty's head's gonna be hurting in the morning after that one. He did take a natural 20 to the back of his cranium.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a nat 20 on Douse as well.
Yeah, it's only fair. I mean,
So-
his shoulder's sore.
Yeah, Douse, your shoulder, there's like a really big black bruise on your shoulder.
You took out a third of my health with that one hit.
Impressive. Yeah. So you guys wake up in the morning, sore and hurting, but yeah.
Well, Dusty will gather up his stuff and get ready to go.
Alrighty. Douse, were you heading to the temple?
Of course I was.
Okay,
And
alrighty.
also the watering of his bracelet, is that a morning thing? How does that work?
That is a morning thing. It's now becoming part of his morning ritual. He, he's gonna blame it on the fact that he loves showers and baths. But he's gonna go take another one.
Only fair.
Right. It's good for the joints, I hear.
Oh my gosh. All right. He's just a very clean, healthy person.
Some might call him a germaphobe.
Alrighty. And girls, are you doing anything else?
Nope, I'm not.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys are heading down, eating some breakfast. We're gonna switch to Douse going to the temple real quick while you guys are eating breakfast.
Uh, there's nothing special. He's gonna, when it opens up, he's gonna go inside and just be like, "All right, take a few breaths." You'll walk in. You'll just kind of spend time. He's not gonna really say anything. Maybe hold her hand for a little bit, but just spend the time silently there with her. Come 30, 40 minutes, like, we'll get you back. And he'll stand up and head out.
Oh. Okay, as you're heading out, the priest does like come up and he sorry, I'm centering this. He's like, seems like you cared a lot for her.
More than most.
It's hard seeing loved ones go this way. And well, we aren't very familiar with this form of induced or e- extended sleep. Um, we actually, I've to give a little bit of hope. I have heard from you may have heard of the stranger who came through town.
Yes. Avion? Avion?
Asian, I think, somewhere around there. Asian. He he stopped through, um, mentioned came to worship here, and when he saw that we had Dane here sleeping, um, he did mention that he heard of someone waking up from one of these comas.
Really? Uh,
Yes.
did he say where?
He did not say where, only mentioned that someone by the title of the alchemist was involved.
Gotcha. Well,
Yes.
I don't
He's
know.
hmm?
So the alchemist isn't a well-known name, is it?
No, it is not a well-known name. He had only heard of it just now. Um, he says that the stranger could not like the stranger basically said um that he heard that the alchemist is in the Versailles dynasty, but no one
Hmm.
actually like knows the alchemist's actual location.
This is very much appreciated.
Hmm.
Let me know if you find out anything else. I'm currently indisposed, so I can't go find out. But I will, if I get the chance, I'll make my way that direction.
Of course.
And then here to return to the inn.
Alrighty. You return to the inn, where everyone is enjoying breakfast.
Oh gosh, Mary, how do you do it every time? I
Well,
don't even know what she's eating, but she really likes it.
I just try to put love into everything I cook. She's cheesy.
Wow.
I think it
Coincidentally, I
works.
put a lot of cheese into it.
That's what everybody tells me, but I've yet to find a
This
way
is
to
excellent.
solidify this love emotion.
It's love emotion. As Douse just pipes in.
That was Dane being silly.
Oh, okay. Well, you come in and Mary sets down a plate of food in front of you, next to your compatriots.
Nuri, Amaris, quick word.
We're gonna
Yeah.
say Amaris is upstairs because
Okay,
she's not here to react to anything. So,
yeah, that's what I was like. If she was here, I would do it, definitely.
mhm.
I just talked with the preacher, the priest, over at the temple. Apparently, there's word of someone actually waking up from one of these comas.
How close are
Wait,
you?
what?
You guys are all at the same table.
Yeah, I probably would have pulled Amaris and Nuri aside for this, just for the sake of it's private business. I don't know what they're going to plan to
Of
do with it.
course. So you can
Definitely
pull her
would
So
tell
like
the
aside.
whole group.
Merilla, far enough Merilla couldn't just overhear you,
Yes.
Okay.
even with 16 passive perception. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Apparently, in the Avalon. Sorry, which kingdom was it? It was. I wanted to say
Versailles
Avalon.
Dynasty.
The Versailles dynasty. There's a person named the Alchemist, and he was involved in waking up a comatose patient. And the man who came through and made the showers, he was the one who delivered this information to the preacher. So we have, in my opinion, two leads that we're taking. I mean, currently we're helping Dusty, so we should probably help Dusty first. But after that, maybe Vermilion Dynasty, we head over there, or because I don't think we know where that wonderful blue man had gone.
Nuri is in obvious just shock. Not responding, just in shock. It looks like a bajillion emotions is just going across her face.
I can see you might need some time with this. But take your time, think about it, think about what you want to do. I'm definitely going to be going after one of those two leads, but
Douse? Would it be okay if I hugged you?
I knew it was coming.
this once, yes.
I just give him a hug. He's so much shorter than me too, so I'm like
That was just gonna be like, it'll be okay. It's okay.
oh, thank you so much, Douse. Thank you. Oh my gosh. This is
Now,
I've just been saying it, but this is literally the best news I've heard in 2 years. Oh my goodness.
I'm happy for that. That's great. Again, I don't know how this is a lead. We don't know what will come from it, but we should follow it.
I've just been saying it, but this means there's actually hope. I'm not just saying it anymore. Oh my gosh.
And I will preface this. This is also a rumor. I do have hope with it. I think it's great, but this is a rumor. So I don't want us to jump the gun.
Yes.
Keep everything open, because there might be other leads. There might be other things.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
All right. And when you're ready with this, we could talk to the rest of the group about it. Definitely tell Amaris. She will want to hear this. And with that, Douse would go over, trying to act as if nothing had happened. I don't know how much the others have seen, and then go order his breakfast.
They
She already came with the plate.
yeah, she already dropped a plate off for you.
Marilla's been eyeing it.
You guys did see Nuri being very physically reactionate of like her excitement. You also saw the hug.
Douse, what did you do? Nuri hugged you.
Yes.
And you let her.
Special occasion.
Takes another bite of food.
When Nuri is ready to bring it up, it will be in her time.
She just keeps chewing.
Out of
Are
game.
you going to eat that before I do?
Yes. He's going to start eating his food.
Out of game, that totally could have looked like a proposal, which is hilarious. That's the first thought that came to my head. She's ultra super married.
He didn't even go down on one knee though. Like that doesn't make anyway.
Nuri believes in polygamy, and she's going to marry all the people in the party.
This is not cool.
No, Douse is so short that he doesn't need to kneel on one knee.
That's funny because Marilla's like a little bit shorter than him, so I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Dang. Douse is only 4 foot right now. Wait, 4 foot? No,
9.
yeah, 4 foot flat. 4'9". Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Alrighty. What are you guys gonna do?
I mean, I think I've already fed my new water. I've watered my watch, watered my bracelet. So I'd be ready to start heading out for the Jackhamers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. I have no qualms. Dusty probably would say goodbye to the Tough Hammer, but we don't have to go over that because it's the same thing. He goes and it's really cute and I love it to bits. And then we're on to the next thing.
We can literally just say that. Nuri comes back and we love it to bits.
Yep.
You love him to bits. You say goodbye. And you're on your way. Yeah, I fear if we go to the Tough Hammers, it's going to be another hour of cuteness. And we've had a lot of cuteness today.
It. Something bad needs to happen to him, though. I don't want that to happen, but I just, narrative-wise, we've had too many good things happen over there. And so...
You know that you have a family with them.
There's a gun on the mantle. It has to go off in the 3rd act. That's how it works.
Don't put the idea in my head, Greg.
Narrative, storytelling. It's awful. It's going to hurt me, but it's going to feel really good when it happens.
It's going to be the Jackawares. They will have killed everybody in a certain place. We just know it.
Wow. Someone just clipped this moment as the time that Dusty called it, or Greg called it. And then later at the end of the campaign. Just kidding.
Says the DM who knows what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, I don't really know what's gonna happen. I have a general idea of what's gonna happen. You know, I know the bad guys. I know what's going on. But technically, you guys are the ones spearheading the story. Yeah, there are certain things that I know are gonna happen, but
we could join the villains party anytime we wanted.
I mean,
there's nothing the DM could do about it.
Like, really? Yeah,
Except
like
for cancel the show.
that's true.
Canceled,
It's a
guys.
campaign where it's this immersive world that I'm trying to create that you guys are following, like you say you're following the story, which like yes, but also at the same time you're making the story. You know?
It's
Anyway,
fantastic and beautiful.
thank you. I tried. I tried real hard. Um
So we're going to the desert now?
yes, you are on your way. We
The
are.
actual desert, not the
The
edges.
yes, the actual desert, open desert. Hold on, I have to make sure this is the right map. Mm. To make sure. Okay. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have used this. Open desert. It is a desert. It is a deserty desert. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me pull characters. 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 Characters.
Doo-doo.
Okay, we're gonna actually zoom in because you guys are very far away. Okay, so you guys begin your trek. Um, Sierra, roll a d20 for me. And Merilla, also roll a d20 for me.
Okay. Can we say that like we obviously stocked up on water while we were there? It's like topped off.
Yeah, you guys
Officially,
can topped off.
yes.
I mean, yeah.
14.
Douse has the
14
unlimited
and
water
6?
source. He's super happy about it.
Yeah, you guys have lots of water. You guys head out. And I'd say you guys have been traveling for well, half a day. It's getting into the later evening, but not quite like evening. It's like mid-afternoon. So Sierra, you got a 14, and Marilla, you got a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so total that's a solid 20. Okay, alrighty. So as you guys are traveling, it's about mid-afternoon, and you see, so it's rocky, it's getting a little more sandy. Um, Dirt and rock and sand everywhere. There's like little bits of brush plants, greasewood, stuff like that. This is a Sonoran desert that you guys are entering into, which is more rocky.
No.
It does, yes. I've done a lot of research on Sonoran deserts. They're pretty cool. Um, so you guys are heading into this. Okay. You see as you guys have been walking, it's like, the heat, it's been hot. Not unbearably so. It has been getting a little bit warmer than you would like, just not incredibly unbearably hot yet. Um, but and you see the haziness on the edge of the desert as well, right? Of the heat waves and everything. You do notice off in the distance, coming in your direction, about a group of about 20 people, okay, of various heights and ages. They actually to look to be about all humans, for the most part. Um, some of the women, children, men, um, they all look like various forms of family. They're all wearing very like deserty clothes, um, and carrying lots of like backpacks and bags. You see, there's one of the younger boys, maybe around like 14. He's got like a little shepherd's cane, And he's got a flock of 5 sheep coming behind him. They seem very exhausted, very tired, weary as they are walking in your direction.
Hey, Dusty,
Yeah.
are there very many nomads in this desert?
Mm, Not that I've seen.
So who are they then?
Dusty,
Refugees, maybe?
That's what I was
you,
wondering. Are they running away from something?
you
Or
would
walking exhaustedly away?
sorry. Let me just pop up here real quick. Um, Dusty, you would know that there are a few, very few, like small settlements out in the desert, not like in the center, but more on like the outskirts, and they're very small. They have aqueducts, that help them to feeding their livestock. Um, there's they're generally not like a ton of people who live out there. Um, but
Do I know that we're near one of these settlements?
you would say you're not near it per se. You're about maybe like a day's walk away.
Okay.
These people seem like they are probably coming from one of the settlements, like refugees.
Okay. Dusty, as they're approaching, would let the party know there are settlements. These could be people from one of those settlements, but I'm not sure of one too close. They're all pretty far from here. These people must have been traveling for a while.
I think
At
we
least
should
today.
hello them. Maybe they'll know something about the Jackaway as we're here to investigate.
Good plan.
Okay.
When nobody else does. She's well, I guess never mind. We'll like get closer. And then she'll be like, hello there. And I'm like cut out.
They are coming forward. They don't seem particularly like afraid of you guys, but they seem very tired and weary, and you see like one of the women is holding like an infant, um and like one of the men steps forward and he goes, "Hail, do you perchance have any water you could spare? We've been journeying a long while."
Looks
Uh,
at Douse.
yes, we have water to spare. You'll pull out the tankers, those half,
Oh, the
Decanters?
kegs.
Oh, the cakes.
yeah, the half kegs. You'll
Mhm.
just start filling them up with the endless water. Being like,
Okay.
do you need anything for? Do they have camels or they have camels,
Yeah, they have like 3 camels carrying stuff.
right? Animals, more or less, as well as asking. Just
Oh, well, it's canon now. They have 3 camels,
okay.
5 sheep. Um, that's about it.
You can use these
Um,
for your animals, and they can drink out of them, unless you have some other trough. And I
we
can fill up your bags with this.
okay. The man nods and he seems very appreciative. You one thing I forgot to mention is they actually each of them have these woven headbands. It's kind of like keeping the hair out of their face. They're very intricately woven in various different styles. Each one of them has like a different head, like different colors, different like way it was woven. But every single one of these people have like one of these woven headbands, except the baby. Baby doesn't. Um,
He's too young.
He's too young to have a woven headband. Um, and there is one other animal that you guys didn't see that is a part of this. Um, that behind you actually see a young girl, youngish. She's maybe about like 14, around that age, maybe 16. Um, and she's actually like holding like a bell. And you see her like kind of ring it 3 times and stop. And everyone's kind of like she's like in the very back of the group, and everyone's kind of like steering clear of the area behind her. But you guys don't see anything behind her.
Where are you all coming from? Looks like you've traveled an awfully long way.
The man steps forward, and as other people are like going and refilling like all their water canisters with
Douse is
Douse.
basically walking around from person to person, like, here you go.
And they're all like gulping it and then like asking for more. Um
Dusty's like surveying the area. He's keeping an eye out.
okay. Alrighty. The man steps forward and he says, we had to abandon our village. It was overrun by jackalwares.
Looks at Dusty.
Well, you're almost out of the desert. Just a few days day walk.
About half a day is what it took
About
for
half a
you
day
guys.
to the next city.
That is good to hear. We've been walking for a day ourselves.
Are you the only survivors from your city?
We managed to get everyone out in time, so yes. But it's a small settlement.
So no one died then? You're okay?
No. No one did. We managed to see them on the rise. We knew they would not exchange pleasantries. So we left. Mhm.
How many
Um,
were there? Do you happen to have a guess?
Oh, of the jackalwares.
Yes. There's
Oh,
about 20 or so of all of you.
Yes, there
Minus
seemed
camels and sheep and whatnot.
yes, there were about, from what we could see on the horizon, maybe 10 or so. Enough that,
see.
well, we aren't fighters.
Yes. And there's less of able-bodied people to even try to fight than 10.
Yes, and so that is why we've decided to take what we have and get out of there before anything truly horrible happened.
Makes sense.
Douse, are you getting closer to the girl to refilling waters?
It depends. I was on how much I'm being swarmed by people. Because
Yeah,
initially his plan was to go down the line, kind of watering everyone or giving
yeah.
everyone water. But if they all start coming to him, he can't move. He's gonna just fill it up there.
I would say a lot of them are really exhausted, so you probably are just kind of like going around throughout the group filling up stuff. As you kind of get closer to the girl, um, she kind of like pulls out like a really wide dish and kind of like she like plants her staff in the ground that has the bell on it. As she was like holding the bell thing to like make sure it didn't ring. The bell clapper, that's what it is. And then she comes over to you with this big wide bowl to be filled. Very wide, very shallow.
Thirsty, Harry? I love water as well. Don't worry. Start kind of
It's
filling it.
it's not for me, it's for my animals.
Fair enough. If there's some already at the front for some animals, I filled up the.
It's for the mantas, not for the sheep.
Oh, I don't think I know what this animal is, but
You, she kind of like gestures to the rocky ground, and she goes, "Look closer." Um, and what you can see is upon further upon further investigation, it blends almost seamlessly into the ground. You've seen manta rays in the ocean, right?
Mhm.
Now imagine a giant manta ray, but it is a land like sliding through the sand and through the dirt. Um,
I love that.
yeah, it's a land manta. Um, and
Douse is gonna be really excited about this. Like, these are here too.
she says it's just one manta. Um, and she sets the bowl down, and you see just like it almost looks like the ground lifts up, and you see like the mouth of it kind of comes over the bowl and starts drinking. Um, and you see two little antennas that were like nestled and buried down on its back, like pop up, perk up a little bit, start wiggling. So you guys, if you are paying attention, you can see the little wiggle of like little antenna rocky sticks shaking.
Is this
'Cause
bigger than the ones that I'm used to, or is this like
yes, so it is like if you were to set like um if you were to like set three dusties next to each other, that would be like the side, like laying down on the ground. It's a big manta. Um,
this is huge? Douse is going to
yeah.
try to stroke it like he has in the with the water ones. He's just like, I can't quite reach the spot, like
You can stroke
the
the
middle.
edges of it, and it doesn't seem to mind. It seems to be used to petting. Um, the girl kind of says, "Yeah, she's a bit sad right now. Well, we weren't able to get the rest of the mantas in time.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
They're a bit
Uh,
difficult to wrangle, and some of them wouldn't leave the mating grounds."
mm, if we run into them, we'll try to do what we can for them. But
Thank you. Just fill their water trough and maybe get rid of the jackalwares, and we'll return back one day to get them.
sounds good. I can do that. Or
Thank
we'll
you.
do our best with the jackals, but I can definitely fill the trough.
Thank you. Okay. Back to Marilla, you were asking some questions.
I don't remember what they were.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it was gonna be. Do you know anything about other settlements? Or did you
Well,
just see them on the horizon and evacuate?
we saw them on the horizon and evacuated. We don't deal too much with other settlements. Kind of the whole reason we're out there is we don't really deal with people, apart from our own families. But I would hope that the other settlements are okay.
I see. And she's gonna turn to you, Dusty. Dusty, do you know where they're at?
The settlement? Or are you
Well, this
talking
one
of
and other ones.
um I'm not 100% sure on the exact places. The desert is a big place, but I believe the closest settlement's about a day away from here. About where they were coming from, I believe. So I assume that you all have been traveling for about a day, maybe more.
Yes, it's been a long day. Well,
Hmm.
we did camp the night.
See, you didn't happen to meet with an adventurer party named the Valkyries, did you?
Um, they passed through our village, actually, our settlement. Um, on their way a while back ago, maybe. Oh, now Emily has to remember timelines. Couple days ago, they passed through, like, want to say maybe 3, somewhere around there.
It's okay.
3 or 4 days ago.
They were sent by the Adventurers Guild to locate the Jackawares and figure out the situation and deal with it. We are a follow-up party to see how we can help. Do you happen to know any information about the Jackawares that might be important? Perhaps more in detail what they are. I'm actually from the desert. I've been here for a while. I've seen lots of animals. I even see your land manta back there.
Yes.
And yeah, but if there is anything you could give about the Jackawares, that would be very useful. I've just heard rumors here and there.
Yes, they were in large numbers when we saw them. We didn't catch much sight of them, other than maybe seeing 10 on the horizon, and we don't hear too much of rumor. Not many people come out to the desert to visit. But we just had the foresight to know that they are not good, especially when the Valkyries came through and they mentioned that if we saw any on the horizon, we were to leave. So
Smart.
left we did. That's about as much as we knew. We know the Valkyries hadn't returned at all. And
Question.
Jackawares came. Yes.
And she kind of, this is like to both of you, but the man and Dusty. I don't know much about these Jackawares, but are they the type of monster or animal or whatever it is they are to follow tracks?
From what I've heard, not quite animal, not quite monster. A bit of both, perhaps. They're creatures with claws and fangs, and they're hungry. They mostly are for food, from what I've heard, anyways. If we don't have to, I wouldn't even want to take one of their lives unless we needed to. From what I know, I don't feel like they have ill intent. It's more of a animalistic instinct kind of a thing.
Mila just kind of looks at you for a second. So you don't think these people will be in danger if they travel a little slower? They're not being pursued. They are not the food.
They might be. If they came to a settlement, settlements have food. Animals, well, to animals, people are food. Animals, people, water systems, pretty much everything you need to survive. If they can take over a camp like that, then they'll be pretty set for a while. That's why it's important to get there soon, because if they run out of supplies, then they're going to have to keep moving, keep looking. The fact that they're only about a day and a half from the town has me a little bit worried, but we should be able to stop them in time. We'll cut them off.
Thank you. We appreciate the aid that you all have given us. We'll continue to trek our way until nightfall, and we'll camp before heading into the town in the next day. I appreciate all that you've done for us with the water, and I hope you can get rid of those Jackawares. We'd like to return home.
It is part of our name.
Your name?
Looks at Nuri.
You're an adventuring group.
Yes.
Nuri seems very busy in her book and does not respond to that.
Okay.
Oh, what's your name so we can tell the rest of the town?
I don't think Merilla sees Nuri's reactions. Well, it wasn't my idea, but we're called the Shards of Hope.
The Shards of Hope. Well, you're doing a good job at bringing some of it with this water, so I appreciate what you've done.
Oh, it wasn't us, it was just Douse.
Regardless, we appreciate your efforts.
You should go talk about him when you go back to Dragondale. My gosh, there was blue person with lots of water. Saved our lives, that sort of thing. Make sure it gets really exaggerated so it's fun to tell.
Will do. He just kind of manages a small smirk, but it's
The
about all
part
he can
about
manage.
Douse, not anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And he says, "Well, we best be going. We want to get as far away as possible."
Sounds smart.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. And as they start to pass by you guys, the girl with the manta, she packs up her bowl and everything. She turns to you, Douse, and she says, I also left my carts there with the mantas. If you
Okay.
guys need to travel across the desert, just make sure to attach the harness to the manta, and you can attach the cart to the back.
Okay. If we can, we'll try that. Thank you very much.
Well, they're not carts. There's so much as sleds, but if you do bring one, make sure to. There's bowls in a chest by their pen, so you can get the water for them.
Will do.
And I would say, Dusty, you know how to like saddle a manta and like care for it.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Douse is going through the whole process of trying to figure out like how do you even steer one, like I don't know how that works.
The manta. Okay. Alrighty. So that was your little encounter here. And you guys keep traveling?
Yeah, as we're parted ways, Marilla's just kind of like off comment to everybody and nobody. You know, it's rather awful thing to maybe consider possibly, but it is kind of perfect that there's so many empty houses in Dragondale.
Nuri nods her head and she's like, actually, that's a very good point. They have plenty of housing for them, for sure. Yeah.
Sad
I
way
mean,
to
it
get
is awful, but it's a very good point.
It's one of the worst parts of traveling is not having a place to put your head underneath.
True.
I mean, you can last for a while, but it's definitely not comfortable after a long time.
Yeah, no, you start getting headaches. Like someone punched you.
And then after that, you kind of get used to it and just keep doing it, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
Dane, you didn't even hear that.
Sorry, I'm writing notes.
No, it's
Dusty
Yeah.
was. They were talking about headaches, and Dusty was like, "Yeah, like someone punched you."
anyway. We probably should get moving towards the town. If we head in the same direction they came, we should be able to hit it.
Okay,
Good to camp
let's
soon.
do it.
Alrighty. And you guys begin your trek there. It is only a day away. Um, As you
Oh.
continue, yes.
Also, how are we dealing with food? We have been on the trail for like pretty much a day now.
I've broken out a few of the bread, some of the bread for sure.
All right.
Marilla's just finishing the last of her second loaf.
All right.
Good.
And you guys have been covered for this evening for food. As you guys are camping out for the night. Mm-hmm. What, Greg?
It's a good
I
spot.
said perfect.
Okay.
All is well in the world.
All is well. Everyone is happy. And as you go to bed, eating your bread, laying out it's warm enough, this evening, at least, that you don't quite need your tents set up for night. You can just roll out your bedrolls on the ground and lay under the stars as you
Does
guys
anyone
are.
have a tent?
I
know I
But
don't.
that's a good question. None of
I
you
mean,
have
Marilla
tents.
might have like a poncho thing. She uses another poncho thing like as a overhang.
Hey, you might want to
Yeah.
get tents in the future.
Yeah.
Bedroll.
Are we camping by like any big rocks sticking out, or?
I would say, yeah, you guys are able to find a big rock over here.
I will just
Okay.
put in. I am also putting an alarm around where we are camping.
Yeah.
Douse
do
is
so.
going to take the decanter of endless water, and he's going to put it up at the top, kind of tilt it so that it starts slowly water coming out, and he's just going to make himself a waterfall to take a shower in.
Your bracelet is very happy.
He's like, oh, this is the dream.
Portable shower.
See, the desert's not that bad.
Oh, I love
When
it.
you have a decanter of endless water. Alrighty,
Worth it.
and with that, you guys camp out, finish your shower, roll out on the bedrolls, and sleep under the very starry night sky, knowing that pretty soon, probably at midday tomorrow, you might have an encounter with some jackal-wares and see what's been going on. Maybe a little bit more than you had originally anticipated.
Probably nothing.
And
Next
with
session,
that,
I will not be fighting Dusty.
we will end tonight's session.
Yay!
Woo! Alrighty, what do you guys think?
That was fun.
Time.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
So
Dusty
many
got to
emotions.
get beat up. That was
Scarlett says, love it. We love you, Scarlett.
Aw.
Start
Yes.
a new adventure.
That's
It is quite
true.
exciting. I'm excited.
Intrigue.
I'm excited to see where this goes. The jackal-wares have been like the background behind why Dusty is doing anything for like a long time. So it's cool that this is all coming back. This is all getting put back together. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. You're finally gonna save the desert. And we've also got some pretty big lore drops of hints and rumors today.
Hints, rumors.
The
I
alchemist.
literally almost started crying, actually. I'm not even joking.
That was
I
a
started to
big
tear up. I was like,
moment.
Man,
Oh my
so my cry count is just currently Amaris, and I'm waiting on Sierra, so we're gonna get a cry count from you too.
maybe you've gotten close, but you haven't gotten one.
So close.
That's awesome.
Yes. Any final thoughts for tonight's session before we close it off?
I would
I
say
love-
I find
Sorry.
Not for
hilarious.
everybody's ears. I don't want. Yeah. Anyway.
I was gonna say I find it hilarious that you had dropped the oh yeah, someone woke up out of coma as we're about to go on to help Dusty. Where I'm like, great.
You
Do
gotta
we
introduce the next
just go-
thing and the next thing, man.
Well, I know, but it was just one of those like, how much does my character want to just drop the Jackawares and head off?
Conflicted.
It's on the way. The Versailles dynasty is on the other side of the desert.
Well,
I mean, we are going to have to report back. That is the thing.
yeah. And it's also like, well, it's on the way, but it's also on the side. So it's like, oh, fighting the Jackawares takes time to go out and bring them out and whatever, their dens.
Our characters need to get connected as characters and make each other the reason we keep going. There's some
What was the prize?
relationships
The friendship
like that,
along
but,
the way.
the friends we made along the way. The real gold was the friends we made along the way.
No,
Wow.
gold is gold. Friends are friends.
The real answer to the fog was the friends we made along the way.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Nuri's very invested in everyone.
Oh,
So
I'm
very
sure.
invested.
I'm sure. But are we just projects? Or are we people?
Ooh.
Are we
The
mysteries?
real question.
Or are we human?
Ooh,
Or
that's a
half
good
elf?
question.
Or are you human? That's the question,
Is
Dusty.
Dusty human?
That is the
Are we
question.
human or are we dancers?
What?
It's a song.
Oh.
Anyways, well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight and for coming and being with us on this adventure. We couldn't do this without you guys. And we hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.